Isaiah. Welcome in, everyone, to Straight Talk, episode 15 of Straight Talk with Isaiah Asher. I am your host, Isaiah Asher. Tonight we have a big episode. Got a guest joining us here on the podcast tonight. We'll go a little bit more into that. But before we go any further, if you haven't yet, go ahead and like the stream wherever you're watching from, on X, on YouTube. We just started trying out Kick now. And then especially on Rumble, like the stream, share the stream out with as many people as you know right now. A right-wing retard, a left-wing lunatic. Share it out to everyone, group chats, all of those folks. Well, tonight we have a big episode. We have James from America Unfiltered joining us. He has a nightly show every weekday, Monday through Friday, and he is a fellow American First patriot. Some might even say a wang-aff. And we're so excited to get into everything with him today. We're going to be talking about the Don Lemon arrest that happened today. We'll talk about Minneapolis, everything that's gone on there with Alex Pretty, Renee, Goode, the chaos, and all the fraud that's taken place. We're also going to take the opportunity to watch our video that we put out a couple weeks ago covering potential alleged Somalian fraud here in St. Louis. And that video is now over 60,000 views total between X and Instagram. So thanks for everyone who's been sharing that video. Keep sharing it out. We want to make sure that they don't forget about it, especially the St. Louis government, right? We'll be getting into the Epstein files, diving into that quite a bit. James has been diving into that all day. We were talking about it before the show. And we'll be talking about the new Fed chair nomination, Kevin Warsh, and the Israeli influence that is rampant within the Trump administration, and even with this new Fed chair nomination. Of course, we'll be talking about the left-wing lunatics, everyone's favorite part of the show. We'll be watching clips, reacting to those clips as well. And then we always end the show with the Faith in the Fire segment. That way we can encourage you and send you off with some encouraging word, a Bible verse or two. So excited to get into it. Excited to welcome James here in a moment. But let's get the show started. All right, James, welcome in, man. So excited to have you here.
How are we doing? Glad to be
great.
here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, sir. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking the time. I know you're got a busy schedule, doing a nightly show there from your humble abode.
Oh yeah, I do a show every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. So it's a fun time. Very busy.
That's awesome. And is that 7 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central time?
Eastern time.
Eastern time. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of my audience is in Central time, so and West Coast time too. So want to make sure they know the right time. America Unfiltered with James. How did you get started? How did you get into this? Want to at least introduce the people to you who don't know who you are. Kind of one thing I will say is that he has a upcoming interview that he has locked down with James Fishback, the candidate for governor of Florida. So huge interview that's upcoming for you. Super excited for you about that. Obviously, we've been talking back and forth about that a little bit. And yeah, just tell the people kind of how you got started. Was there a radical, were you radicalized by something,
I originally, when I got started in it, I wanted to run for House in Florida. And then I actually got the signatures to get my name on the ballot.
Wow.
And then before I submitted them, I was doing a little bit more research on it. And I realized that it takes about $1 million to run a House campaign. And I don't have that. So yeah. I was like, okay, let's go a slightly different route. I started my show to promote the House campaign. And then I was like, okay, maybe we ditch the House campaign for now, circle back to that in a few years. But for now, we're just going to be a live streamer. So that's originally how I got started into it. And then I kept getting different forms of the red. Like I was already red pilled on certain topics, but I kept getting different forms of the red pill over my journey with streaming. And the show definitely evolved through that. And you were talking about Fishback. I've met him 3 times now, I think.
Wow.
And very excited to do an interview with him. I was supposed to interview him a couple times. We had to reschedule. He had Tucker one day. Me and Tucker had him booked the same day. He sadly
Hey,
chose
man,
Trump. And then,
it's that's okay, right? It's better for
it's
you if
fine.
he's going on Tucker before he comes on your show, right?
I don't mind. The closer it gets to the election, the better the interview is for me. But I don't even look at it that way. I just look at it as like I'm excited to talk to him. As someone who lives in the state of Florida, plans to live here for a while, I want a guy who's gonna have our best interests in mind. And DeSantis does a lot of good things,
Yes,
but
of
at the
course.
same time, DeSantis folds on a lot of issues, specifically on Israel, while James Fishbeck, on the other hand, goes balls to the wall on that subject. He's not. He's one of the
Yeah.
guys who's like, I'm not going to take $1 from them. I will also get all the money back, because there's in Palm County, where I am, Palm Beach County, we have over $1 billion invested in Israel, taxpayer dollars, and then the state of Florida itself has about 385 million or so. So,
Oh my gosh.
a lot of money that we need to get back in the United States.
Jeez. Yeah, I lived in Florida for a few years and I didn't even know about that, right? I was always a DeSantis fan. Obviously, he, is pretty conservative and he's pretty hardline on a lot of issues, except, like you said, except Israel. He, for some reason, and I gotta believe it's because it's the politician in him, right? You're in Palm Beach, so you know how many Jewish people live down there, right? It's like
Trust me, I get it. I'm
New
in
York
Little
City
Tel Aviv.
Mecca for them, right?
It's Little Tel Aviv over here.
Little Tel Aviv,
basically.
I like it. Yeah.
If you go anywhere from Boca to like up near Jupiter area, that's all you're seeing pretty much.
Yeah, 100%. I know plenty of Jewish folks that I'm friends with that live down in that area, and so that's what I gotta imagine. That's kind of the motivation behind it, right? Is there's such a large presence there? It's like Tim Waltz and the Somalis, right? If you
Definitely a big part. A lot of his donors are a lot of the Zionist lobby,
Yep.
and outside of the actual lobbyists themselves, the individual donors, like just citizens of Florida, a lot of them are Jewish, so that definitely influences it. But DeSantis, I mean, he almost went off the rails with it, because he even flew to Israel to sign the anti-Semitism bill, and that bill makes it. It's not like I'm allowed to criticize Israel, like First Amendment.
Yes.
But if you go to a public school in Florida and you criticize Israel, you could be thrown out of that school just for that.
Jeez.
And it's happened to many people at the colleges in Florida.
And I'm sure so many people don't even know that that's, taken place.
Yep.
It's similar to something. So I was on the Rob Carter show earlier this week, which is a local radio show here in St. Louis. It was my first radio show appearance. Super amazing to be able to do that. But we were talking about, I just lost my train of thought. We were talking about Israel and, the influence of DeSantis, right, and the anti-Semite bill. So in Missouri, if you are a contractor with the state of Missouri and you do over $100,000 of revenue, you have to sign a loyalty pledge to Israel. So if I wanted to do IT services, for example, just a random thing, right? If I wanted to manage the website for the state of Missouri and it was going to be over $100,000, I have to sign a loyalty pledge to Israel.
Wouldn't you make you sign a loyalty pledge to America, if anything? Like, what the fuck?
Right, exactly.
What happened to this?
What flag do we pledge allegiance to? Do we pledge allegiance to the American flag or the Israeli flag? Right?
It's crazy. And they made it a law that you couldn't burn the Israeli flag before they made it a law that the Trump's executive order about the American flag. And I'm like, why the fuck is that? Like, it's hate speech or a hate crime to burn like a pride flag or burn an Israeli flag, but then people are freely burning American flags. And it's like, let it all go or none of it, because
maybe we should be burning some trans and pride flags at our protests.
The protests in Florida, I will say, are pretty tame. Like, when you get by Tampa, they get a little bit bigger, but still it's always very tame, because everyone in Florida knows that everyone else is carrying. Everyone in the back of their mind knows that, like, the guy next to them has a bigger gun 100%. Than them, and the guy next to him has a bigger gun than that guy.
You ever seen the clip of Nick back in the day when he, I think it's like 2020, he's standing in Tampa in a mall parking lot. I think he might have a Trump flag or something. I don't know. And like, he's screaming into this news anchor who's like doing an interview. He's screaming something. He's like, Groypers, or something like that. I lived like probably 500 feet from there. And that was probably one of the craziest things that went down during COVID is all these people stormed this parking lot. They took over a SWAT vehicle me and my wife are coming back from St. Petersburg Island, and there's like 4 or 5 black guys hanging out of the SWAT truck, just driving in circles around the parking lot right there. And we're driving, we get hit with this pepper gas, and it was a whole big thing on the news where they burned down a Champ store and everything. So, but that's, when you said Tampa gets out of control, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's
it's a little bit more out of control than most of the other parts. I mean, the protests near me are all old people. And then like I used to live in the Naples area, same thing. It was all old people.
Yep.
I even went out to a couple that, like when they had the first No Kings protest, I went there to just kind of troll some of the people.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I'd already realized I wasn't as big on Trump as I was in the past, but I was still like, if we actually had a king, he would slaughter all of you people for protesting him in the street. So I'm like, I got to go fuck with these people somehow. So 100%. I walked up and down with a MAGA hat, and I would just like interview the people who were willing to give me the interviews. But it was constantly just people like getting as close as they can, screaming in my ear. And then the old people are all there with their like little signs and chairs and umbrellas. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Hilarious. Yeah, I mean, it's the left. Like, that is the definition of the left, 100%.
Yeah. The left needs to be crushed, and they need to be held accountable, and they haven't been held accountable for a single thing, and that's why they feel empowered to be this way. I mean, like that, I am not even in the religious sense, but the like, I am holier than thou thoughts they have, where it's like, I'm better than you because I believe in this, this, and this. It's like, okay, fuck off. Like, we're just so done with it.
What it even comes back to is something I've been super passionate about that I preach about is, you know, the philosophical idea of postmodernism, right? And boils down to like, hey, James, my truth is my truth. You can believe that what you want to, but I am a Black Jewish lesbian. All right, that's me. That's my truth. Okay, you can't tell me that that's not my truth. And that's what postmodernism comes down to when the left has adopted that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember when all that first started coming around, like the I identify as, and I was very confused the first time I heard it. And I'm still sometimes very confused about it.
And it's not just the left's fault. You know, I want to, you know, we have to criticize the GOP as well, because they're the ones who allowed this liberalism of the conservative party. You know,
I honestly, like, not to speak ill of the dead, I was a massive Charlie Kirk fan in his heyday, but
of course,
Charlie Kirk is partially to blame on that, because Charlie Kirk, in the end of his life, like this year, last year specifically, he was doing the college debates, and he was talking about like anti-gay marriage stances and Black culture being in decline and things like that. But if you remember, like 5-8 years ago or so, I forgot who the black guy's name was, but he was going on tour with this gay black guy. And all he was talking about is like, oh, the GOP needs to be more like this and
more accepting so that we can reach more people. And that's was the guise of why we needed to accept these more liberal ideologies, is so that we could, you know, grow our base. But
fuck that.
Yeah.
Grow it through birth.
Yeah, exactly. Grow it through birth. And I saw you share a post actually on X about that. About how we're outpacing liberals now on
I saw that white people are outpacing for the first time. White people are having kids. W white people, white men, white women. We're
two here for me.
Let's go.
I know we got some folks watching right now that got some kids too. So yeah, keep having kids, everyone. My brother, who's a year older than me, he's on his 8th kid. Ridiculous.
Let's go. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, if money was never an issue, I would have anywhere between 5 and 20 kids. I always say, I mean, I would have 100 just for the sole fact of having a mini army if that was possible. But
they're like,
you got to find a wife first for that one.
Yeah, they're YouTube influencers. So like, he was a mechanic, and then she like just, you know, kept posting over like 10 years, and now she's got like 300,000 YouTube subscribers or something ridiculous. And it's all like, I mean, we would never watch any of this crap. It's like, oh, my oils that I make. It's all this homemaker stuff and like all the meals. But hey, there's so many moms that watch that crap. So power to the moms, right?
Dude, moms are some of the most based people. I will say, like,
oh, my mom's so based.
I don't get it. Like, moms are sometimes more based than the dads. Not always, but a lot of times, like, moms, they get it. Like, they get when you talk about like, especially when you talk about like black crime and you talk about a lot of those issues that some people don't want to talk about, they get it. Like instantly they're like, yeah, especially the Italian ones.
100%.
The Italian ones, they learned it from their fathers, so they get it.
I want to get your reaction to this chat from someone. They've just been throwing W's and American flags, but Valiant Bird says Muslim families have like 15 kids. White people have to do the same to keep up so we don't become the minority.
You know who's also doing that? The Jews are doing that. Like not all of them, but the Hasids and the
any Orthodox.
Orthodox. Yeah. They're doing that as well. I mean, Tyler Oliveira just did that video about that town in New York with fraud where they all have like 16 kids. But yeah, white people definitely need to do the same. I mean, I will say it's kind of like a double-edged sword a little bit, where it's like you shouldn't be compromising on your values as a white guy just to have kids and get married and get to that place. But if you do find yourself in the position where you have a wife and you're in a more religious style of a relationship, go all in. Go have as many as you can, as many as you can afford.
That's the mandate, right, from the Lord.
Exactly. I mean, I think people should be aiming to have as many kids as possible. I think one of the ways people fall on that, like I was kind of saying originally, is just a lot of people will get like married to somebody because they feel the societal pressure to do it.
Yep.
And then they end up in this,
relationship
with somebody who's going to divorce them and take half their stuff.
Yep.
So it's like, you got to be careful as a guy, very careful, but at the same time, it should be a goal for most men, if not all men.
100%. Totally agree. I think that, especially if you're a Christian, Catholic, that has to be your goal. That's the mandate. It's either that or celibacy, right? Like Paul says in his letters, he says, it would be better if man could be single so he could devote himself to the Lord. But we burn with passion. Women are hot, so we got to get married so we can have sex within the confines of marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, the one thing that's not the one thing, I'm sure there's other things, but the thing that like gets me the most on when it comes to dating and stuff is like, I'll start like talking to someone or dating them, and then they'll see one of my clips where I'm like, women shouldn't vote. And they're like, oh, what the fuck? They're like, I can't be with this guy.
Yeah. And I think people misunderstand like the whole motivation behind that, because they think, oh, you said that. It's like most things with Nick too, right? Is, hey, he said this in this 3-second clip, so therefore let's write him off, let's condemn him, all this stuff. So
no, but when you actually explain it, it makes sense. I mean, when you look at the voting trends, when you look at the way the brains operate between men and women, I mean, there is massive differences in how we view topics, view the world, view economics. And realistically, all the women who are like, I'm sure people have seen this on X and stuff like that before, but like all the women who are complaining about like, oh, I can't walk around in my city at night, it's too dangerous. Those are the same women who are voting to have these Somalians and Ugandans and all these third worlders coming into
white liberal girls.
White liberal women are the possible death of America, which is crazy to think. Like, if we told our founders that white liberal women would bring this country down, they would beat the shit out of us right now for allowing it to happen.
I know. They would hang us in the street.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's hilarious. Well, I want to get into the show here a little bit. Before we get in, though, I did want to hear, because obviously a lot of folks that are watching may not know much about Fishback. And so what do we like about Fishback as some America First patriots? What do we like about him? Why do we support him?
I like him for a lot of reasons. I've met not a ton of politicians, but I've met a few. And I will say, out of all the politicians I've met, he's the only single politician to not turn down a question or not give a political answer to the harder question. So like, I met Byron Donalds, or Byron Section 8 Donalds, I call him.
Yeah.
And he refused to answer questions. He danced around questions. I straight up asked Fishback to his face, is Barry Weiss an Israeli spy? What's your relationship with Bill Ackman?
I love it.
I asked him about his previous business partners and dealings. And he didn't shy away from anything. And not only that, he gave like, he would take the time, like you would ask him a question and he would do this for a second. He'd like look down, you could see him, he would actually think about the question and give a well thought answer. And that was my impression of him when I met him. And then from all the stuff I see on social media, X, Instagram, he seems to be one of the most America First candidates we've had in a very long time. I heard he hung up on a donor the other day because the donor was like, I'll give you money if you disavow Nick Fuentes. And he was like, fuck off. Hung up. Like, that's amazing right there. That's what we need. We need politicians who are not willing to give in on their values for money. Like, those are just political sluts. And political sluts are not going to save this country. People who are willing to take less money but put America first are the people who are going to save this country.
100%. And something I forgot to bring up earlier for the audience is that you caused James Fishback to trend on Twitter. Or X, right?
He put my hat on. Yeah. I was wearing my hat at that event. He walked up to me. He's like, can I use that as a prop for a second? And I was like, I'd be honored. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He took my hat. He's like, I'm proud to wear this.
Yeah. And it went crazy, man.
I was in another clip with him, too, the other day about Palantir. I wasn't the one who asked the question. It was the kid next to me. A very intelligent young kid. He's just a high schooler, too. But he showed up to that event alone. High schooler, very intelligent, asked the question about Palantir, and that went ultra viral as well. So props off to that kid, but I made the clip. I made the
hey, that's all that matters, right? You're there. So no, I just loved the America First because I'd seen it. Just we followed each other. We were already engaging with each other, and so I saw it from you. And then I'm on the trending topics, and I'm like, are you kidding me? This is freaking awesome, man. Yeah. So props to you, man, for not being afraid, to wear that hat in public.
Oh, I don't
mind. And being able to wear it too. I mean, yeah, it's Florida. Missouri is pretty similar to Florida. I don't know if you know much about Missouri, but it's very red. Very, very similar. There's just similar to Florida, like Tampa and other cities. There's Democrat cities here. It's like St. Louis.
I don't even mean it's just red. I just mean this is a state where no one fucks with each. Like, rarely do people fuck with you because everyone knows everyone else is carrying. Nobody wants
open carry in Missouri too. That's another thing, and that's part of the problem with the city is that you go downtown. I mean, these are not legal firearms, but you got all the black people downtown with. I mean, man, there's murders. It's terrible. No one wants to live in St. Louis City. It's ridiculous, man. It's because of the Democrats, the left-wing liberals. But let's get into the show. Let's start off with our first headline that we're talking about tonight is the Don Lemon arrest. So obviously, unless you're sleeping under a rock, Don Lemon was arrested today for storming the church in Minneapolis. And I'll read these charges, and we're going to watch a 2-minute clip that's going to go a little bit more in depth from Fox News. But just reading these charges that he was charged with is the first one, conspiracy to deprive rights, so religious freedom rights, and then violation of the FACE Act, or the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrance, that's interesting, clinic entrance. I just thought that was an interesting acronym for this because what it means is it's specifically for allegedly injuring, intimidating, or interfering with the exercise of religious freedom. I didn't even know that was a law, but I mean, interfering can be, in the law, the law works in a way where however the lawyer can make it maneuver to his,
they'll get whatever they'll pull. Like, I mean, on the Charlottesville guys and the J6ers, they brought down the Klan Act on them.
Exactly.
On the trial of the Chicago 7, they brought, what was it, the Wrap Brown law or something like that? I think it was Wrap Brown. And that no one had ever been charged with that. And that was like a law they made for slaves, and then they used it in like the 70s or so.
Yeah, something that had never been done before, right? There's a word for that, but it's like landmark, I guess. It's the first of its kind.
Yeah. They're corrupt. I think it's crazy that he's already out. I mean, that's the part I'm most disappointed about.
Yeah, and we'll see. We got a clip here. We'll watch his reaction. Do you want to pull up, Nick, that clip? The first clip there is the Fox News clip summary. You can share your screen, and then let me know whenever you're ready, Nick. My daughter's trying to break into my studio right now. I can hear her rattling on the door handle.
You're good. I just have my dog coming under my desk, so I get it. I'm with you.
What kind of dog you got?
I thought I had a dog in my apartment for a split second. I was like, what the?
Nick. Yeah, one time for Nick, everyone. One time for the producer.
Hey,
We
had
in the chat.
we had the
07 Nick.
video ready to go. We just weren't screen sharing.
Oh no, you're good. That's my fault. Let's get this going here.
It's just minutes ago confirming that former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles just after midnight this morning at a hotel. This obviously all in connection with that storming of a church in St. Paul, Minnesota by that group of anti-ICE agitators. Now remember, the feds had gone to judges to try to get Don Lemon arrested before. They went to a magistrate judge in Minnesota who didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to a judge above him. He didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to an appeals court. They also decided not to sign off for an arrest warrant for him. So there was experts who were predicting that perhaps the feds would go to a grand jury. It remains to be seen if that's what happened here, but we can confirm that Don Lemon was arrested in Los Angeles by federal agents just after midnight Los Angeles time at a hotel. Now, typically, standard procedure with an arrest like this is the defendant will likely make their first court appearance sometime the same day. So there's a chance we may see Don Lemon make his first court appearance in Los Angeles sometime today. But obviously, this is going to grab all sorts of headlines. 3 other protesters from that church storming, have already been arrested, including who the Fed.
Oh my God!
Those are 3 of the ugliest people I think I've ever seen.
Jesus, dude. Look at the lady in the middle.
I just had to pause it on those people. I had
to. Did she have her hair pulled back or is she just that bald?
I mean, the guy on the right looks like a crack addict. The woman in the middle looks like
shit. He looks like Charles Manson or the
Yeah, James, have you seen this guy, William Kelly? He can't talk to someone. He has to scream at the top of his lungs. He was
screaming at little girls and parents. And I was like, again, Exhibit A on why I conceal carry in church.
Yes, I love it. It's why security teams in church are needed. You know what I mean?
They literally have armed people outside of synagogues. Why can't the Catholic Church get that? Why can't we get one guy out there with just a rifle?
Just an AR-15 or something, right?
Dude, I would lend one for the cause.
Yeah. I mean, the Black Panthers are showing up in the subways of New York City armed with rifles. That. So why can't we do that, you know?
The subways in New York City are such a shithole. I come from that area originally, and they are just shitholes,
Yeah, it is. It's I mean, it's a dirty city, that's for sure. Dirty, dirty trash city, basically. Yeah. Especially now that Mamdani's you laughing over there, Nick. Especially now that Mamdani's the mayor. I mean, everyone's probably eating with their hands. So
bananas and rice.
Bananas and rice, probably. Yeah,
that was a crazy video. Bananas and rice. It's like bananas and rice, and I'm like, is this bitch? So how dumb is this woman?
That clip came out, I think, the day we had our show, and I was like, no one had said this yet, and so I was reacting, and then after the show, I saw like everyone started. It wasn't I didn't prompt this, but everyone thought the same thing I did. It's like, man, this lady didn't say anything. There's no substance in anything that she just said in this whole press conference. Yeah. She said bananas or rice about 12 times. So unreal.
Isaiah, let's get back to actually, if we can get 30 people streaming tonight, next week Isaiah is gonna eat bananas and rice all in the stream.
If we can get 30 people on Rumble, we got 52 people live with us right now.
30 people on Rumble. So if you're watching us on X, switch over to Rumble. We need
switch over to Rumble right now. Yeah. We got 52 live viewers right now. Super great. Thanks for everyone watching. If you are watching on another platform, if you're watching on X, for example, go ahead to my profile. You can find the link there. If you are one of James's followers, go to his profile and you'll find the link there as well. And if you're just joining us, go ahead and smash the like button wherever you're watching from. Share the stream out with a right-wing retard, with a left-wing lunatic. We love our free speech faggots too, so you can send them out to everyone. We're going to keep watching this video, though, and get these ugly-ass people off our screen. So keep playing the video.
Was the organizer of that protest. The woman in the middle there is a school board member in St. Paul.
Are you kidding me?
The mugshot on the right is an online personality.
That lady in the middle was a school board member?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually insane. That lady's disgustingly
To
ugly.
be fair,
she shouldn't even be allowed out of the home.
I had a lunch lady that looked like that one time.
Hey, that makes sense. She could be a lunch lady, but man, school board? Dang, dude.
That's the type of woman you don't take out of the house.
Oh, seriously.
The organizer of that protest, the woman in the middle there is a school board member in St. Paul, and then the mugshot on the right is an online personality / agitator, if you want to call him that. He's known as the Woke Farmer. Those were the 3 people that the feds had already arrested, but we have confirmed that Don Lemon has now been arrested in Los Angeles in connection with that viral incident. We all saw the video of it that spread and drew widespread condemnation. The feds have been going after these people on FACE Act violations. So this is still breaking news. Once we get more details about the potential charges here, a court appearance, we'll, of course, update our viewers, guys.
Really appreciate it. Of course, if it was a grand jury that did indict him, that's pretty unimpeachable.
That's great. That's great news. The fact
is this guy good? How's this guy a news guy? You hear him stuttering like that? Hold on.
Sounds like Alex Soros at the 2024 World Economic Forum.
Jury that did indict him, that's pretty unimpeachable. Bill Milesian, thank you so much.
Unimpeachable. Man, so he's got a grand jury. I didn't even know that he had a grand jury, so that's pretty incredible.
Indicted by grand jury. I think they
DOJ
should
sent a team of.
I think they should target him the same way they targeted the J6ers. I mean, literally pin this guy to the fucking wall and set an example. I mean, put Don Lemon in jail for 10 years. I don't give a shit. Put him in for the rest of it. Like, I really don't care. We need to send a message to the left that this will never be tolerated.
Yes. Yeah, we have to come down harder, similar to what they did, so that they understand, hey, this is not acceptable, right?
And then it's like, that's what they did to us, and it's not even like they did that to us, so we should do that to them. But it's, if they win in 2028, people are like, oh, maybe they'll be like nicer to us because we weren't as bad to them through these years. It's like, no, they're not going to do that. If a Democrat gets elected in 2028, they are going to come after free speech. They're going to come after shows 100%. Like mine and yours and Nick's. They're going to do everything they can to pin us to the fucking wall. And it's like, why are we not being as aggressive as the left? Oh, geez, I'm stumbling my words.
No,
as aggressive as the left is.
Yeah, and the excuse is that we don't want them to be as aggressive when they get in power because the GOP is so scared that they know that they're going to lose the primaries and the midterms here in 2026 that they're just terrified. So, got to take a quick ad break here, really quick, and then we'll get back to the show here. But if you still haven't tried 1775 coffee, now is your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped, only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus, no crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin-free, and mold-free. Plus, you're also getting a golden spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. As well, you get a black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, and they're wondering if it's actually worth it. The spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. Thanks for 1775 Coffee. Appreciate you guys. Quick ad break there. Appreciate you, James.
Oh, I don't mind.
Gotta take the ad breaks. You know what I mean? Gotta pay Nick somehow. He
cut the check.
Yeah, exactly. Cut the check. So Don Lemon, though, if you're just joining in, we're talking about Don Lemon's arrest. We just watched a Fox News clip outlining the grand jury indictment against him. They arrested him and he's been released. And so what we're going to watch now is the clip after he was released, the press conference that he held, just a short 30-second clip here for us to react to.
Last night, the DOJ sent a team of federal agents to arrest me in the middle of the night for something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, and that is covering the news. The First Amendment of the Constitution protects that work for me and for countless of other journalists who do what I do. I stand with all of them, and I will not be silenced. I look forward to my day in court. Last night, the DOJ sent a team of
course he
federal
looks
agents
forward
to
to
in the
jail.
middle of the night.
Yeah.
He heard what they
Something
do in
that I've
jail,
been
and now he's
doing
really looking forward to
the
it.
last 30
Nick, you
years.
gonna pause that?
And that is covering the
I guarantee you, within 10 minutes of him being there, he drops the soap, and then he does it a second time.
Oh, are you kidding? He's been waiting to go.
He's gonna
Just for
slide.
that
He's gonna
reason.
slide it and be like, "Oh, I gotta go." He's gonna do a full
whoops.
dive.
Did you see the meme? It said when Don Lemon's told to bend over and cough, and there's like 4 people looking down a hole like this big.
I mean, that is a real thing. Sarah Stock brought a lot of attention to that, and I've been saying that for a long time. But Sarah Stock on her Jubilee episode brought a lot of attention to that, where I think it's like 16% of most gay or all gay men, they'll end up having to wear adult diapers in their in their 40s, 50s, as they start getting older through the rest of their life because of that. And it's like, holy shit,
dude.
That's absolutely absurd. And Don Lemon's just such a retard. Like, and I know this from firsthand experience because I've debated the guy. I've debated him on TikTok, and he's an absolute. If I could beat him in a debate when I was only like 3 months into doing my show, the guy's a fucking retard. He's been doing this for what, 20 years?
Exactly.
10 years.
Yeah, and James just did. Didn't you just do another debate with someone who was on
Jubilee as well? I was on Jubilee.
Well.
There's this guy who he picks out ex-Jubilee people and he puts them in debates together. I have another one next week too. I haven't figured out the date yet, but I debated her on the ICE shooting. This woman was retarded. I mean, like, I beat the shit out of her in this debate.
I saw part of it. I was like, oh my gosh, he's mogging her so hard.
Objectively, I mog. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to mog for the America First Patriots.
Yes. It's what MAMA make. MMGA, make mogging great again. That's what you're trying to do.
I'm doing it. I'm world-class mogger over here.
So that's Don Lemon, everyone. We just covered. He's been arrested. He apparently already appeared before a judge. Didn't hear much about that in the news, but he's already out, released, and he is feeling so sorry for himself, but never felt sorry for the J6ers.
Yep.
He's getting the same treatment that the J6ers got, and now he feels bad. Couldn't call it out then. Now he wants our sympathy. So just like James is saying, I think we have to push harder. We have to put the thumb down a little harder, be more authoritarian a little bit, right? And let them know that, hey, we're not going to put up with this. If you're going to do this to us, we got to push back just as hard. We can't let the establishment just, be
We can't let the left win.
Rhinos.
Yeah, the left has to be held accountable at some point, and it can't just be like these rogue leftists who end up like getting in the way of ICE and end up getting shot or end up getting pepper sprayed or something like that. We need to legally hold them accountable as well. Like people like Don Lemon, people in the media who are causing, like the Krasenstein brothers specifically.
Oh my gosh.
They should be put on every government watch list. They should be thrown in fucking prison.
Yeah.
Not even just for the incitement of bullshit they do on social media. I mean, they definitely like incite riots. They definitely spread propaganda, but they also used to own a child porn website. Those guys owned a website called 17onlygirls.com.
I saw that.
Disgusting people.
Ridiculous. I saw that they said, "Oh, we didn't know. We bought it with a bunch of other websites. We didn't know."
They were buying like 100 porn websites. It's like, okay,
what kind of?
I don't even have to hear anymore. Like, you're buying a bunch of porn websites, that should be illegal as well. I'm someone who says that we should take the owner of OnlyFans, hang him publicly, seize the assets, destroy all the software, and take all the money and put it back.
And you're living in Florida where Fishback's trying to
50% hoe tax.
Yeah, the OnlyFans tax, right? For the porn industry, he wants to obliterate it and not let it to be able to essentially survive, not even thrive, just survive. He doesn't want it to be able to survive in Florida. So we need, I constantly am, tweeting at our governor here in Missouri, and using Fishback as examples of things that he needs to be doing too, because he can do it now. He doesn't have to wait. He is a governor. So like,
people need to follow Fishback's example, even though he's not even elected. It's like, if more people just looked at what the youth is responding to,
exactly,
we would live in a lot better place. I mean, these boomers are so fucking lost. And to call a spade here, we all love our grandparents, but boomers are fucking retarded. I mean, like, you ever taught your grandparents how to work a fucking iPad? It's like, okay, like, your generation, your time is done. It's our fucking time now. If I'm teaching you how to use everyday necessities, it like your phone, like they have the big ass lettering because they can't see shit. It's like, hilarious. Okay, we'll step up. We'll mog for you guys.
Yeah, my wife's grandfather, I had to help him because he's like, Isaiah, he doesn't want to, he's a cheap guy. He's extremely wealthy now because he pinched every penny that he ever had, but he doesn't want to spend money on like an iPhone or anything. So he's got like the cheapest phone from Cricket that you can buy with like $20 smartphone. But he manages his own investment portfolio. And so he's trading on his phone. And so he says, Isaiah, something's going on with my phone. And it's like 50 pop-ups going on. And he's just like clicking like this, just click. I'm like, no. We need to turn your phone off. We need to like throw this thing away. You're probably hacked.
You never trade $20 burner.
Yeah, I said, and then one of his sons has said, yeah, we're buying you an iPhone. We're going to the store today. We're buying you. So yeah, I completely agree. You were mentioning earlier the Minneapolis, the chaos, the ice. And so I wanted to go into that as our next subject that we're covering. So the Minneapolis, couple things. So first I want to get into, the last thing we'll get into is the fraud, which is the reason behind all this, but wanted to get into just your response. I know you had some good responses that I saw about Renee Goode, about Alex Pretty, obviously debating. And so you had some great responses on this whole situation. And so just wanted to hear, what do you think about let's start with Renee Goode, since it's the older situation. What was your take on that? You know, what were you telling your viewers when that was going on?
I don't think she was intentionally trying to hit the ICE officer. I don't think that was what she had going on in her mind. But I think, like, everybody's been in chaotic situations where there's a million things happening and your mind just starts for a second, like, you kind of lose train of thought. You lose the bigger picture for a second. And I think that's what happened there. I think she was there. Again, it's like that liberal, I'm holier than thou thing where it's like, I have the right to be here parked in the middle of the street. I'm a lesbian woman. I'm protecting the Somalians. It's like, okay, like, shut up, bitch.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you watch the video and you watch all the different angles and you notice a few things. And one of the things I noticed over everything is I kind of blame the wife a lot. The wife is standing 100%. On the passenger side of the vehicle and she's trying to open the door. The door is locked and she has the doors locked because on the other side of the vehicle, there is the ICE agent who is trying to enter her vehicle. And what does the wife say when she sees the ICE agent on the other side of the car trying to open the thing? She says, drive, baby, drive. And what do you do when you're in those chaotic moments? You're not really thinking. You're just going off adrenaline and instinct. And you hear the person that you kind of trust the most. I'm assuming this lady trusted her wife more than anyone else. She hears the person she trusts the most scream, drive, baby, drive. So what does she do? She puts it in drive and goes. She doesn't realize that this guy's in front of her car. She ends up hitting him, and he was able to fire off 3 perfect shots. So I think she got exactly what was coming to her, even though it wasn't what she was intending to do.
Agreed.
A vehicle, whether it's going 3 miles an hour or going 30, is a few $1,000 pounds, and it's going to do damage to you. I mean, being run over by a vehicle that's going 3 to 10 miles an hour is still going to do damage.
Yes.
And the left ignored that reality.
Yes. My younger brother, actually, I saw him get run over by a car when we were going to the movies. It was when the first this is how long ago it was, when the first Harry Potter movie came out in theaters. So like 2000 or something, right? I'm dating myself here. But I watched him. We're walking in and a drunk driver, like we're in front of the theater, just like in the crosswalk. And then drunk driver ran him over, and there was a priest there and he prayed over him. Not a scratch, not a problem, went to the ER, came home the next day, not an issue. And then the cops dude, this was when I knew forensics was crazy. They were able to match like the carbon fiber in his pants to the paint on the car and everything. But the guy wasn't going that fast, to be honest. It was like
I've seen someone get run over at just a few miles an hour, and they've had severe leg damage, things like that. So it's like people just don't realize, and that's amazing that your brother was unharmed in that way. That's amazing. Really amazing act of God there.
Absolutely.
But people don't realize the damage that can be done in just a couple seconds with that car going over you.
Did you actually see that clip of another altercation? I don't know if it was police officers or if it was ICE agents, and it was a lady in a white SUV where she ran up like a snow embankment and like just hit an officer, and he like flew out, and he's like,
no, hurt. I didn't. Holy shit.
Yeah, but that's how fast it can happen, you know?
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, they're really trying to get her to, you know, they're trying their best. De-escalation, right? That's what they're trained in. They're trying to de-escalate the situation, and then in a split second, she just hits the gas and rams this officer and throws him in the air. And so, and the officer that Renee Goode ran over, just so the audience knows, he had just got out of the hospital. He was in for 6 months because he was dragged by someone that hit him. He was drugged for 300 feet and had burns, road burns all over his body. And so I got.
He also got internal bleeding from getting hit by Renee Goode.
Oh my gosh, that's right, he did.
Yeah.
And so you think you put all that together, like you said, you know, she wasn't intending to do that, but if you put it all together, it makes sense. I can understand.
Intentions don't matter. The job of the ICE agents is not to decipher what are this woman's intentions. They are to assess the tactical reality of the situation. And that's one of the big arguments I made in the debate when I had it. This woman was like, the tactical guidelines say ICE isn't supposed to stand in front of the car. And I'm like, okay, but you have to understand, hindsight is 2020, and the tactical reality changes, and tactical guidelines aren't laws. They're just safe procedural practices. And when the tactical reality of the situation changes, and you have a woman who's acting erratic, and you have a bunch of other people around there, and this woman is actively blocking traffic, just a moment before she didn't get to, but she accelerated a little bit towards an ICE vehicle that was trying to pass her. A lot of different things change, and the situation changes itself, and it allows the officers to improvise on those tactical guidelines. Mm-hmm. And these people just don't realize that. And they would, like, I told the girl who I debated, I said, take one tactical training course. One, like, I'm sure she told me she had a firearms training course. And I'm like, okay, like, that's great. Go do a tactical training course now. And do the, like, they sell courses where you can, at local gun shops, things like that, where you can put yourself in these, like, VR scenarios almost, where it's like, should a cop shoot, should a cop not shoot? And they get it wrong 99% of your average civilian gets it wrong about 99% of the time.
Shooting civilians left and right. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing I fall back on a lot, and I say this a lot on my show, but people have to realize that the average IQ of Americans is between like 100 and 105. On a daily basis, most of the people you talk to are pretty retarded. Out in the real world. And it's like all these people on social media parroting these fucking CNN talking points. Most of them are retards.
Low IQ, retards, don't know how to have a constructive conversation. And that's what I was
critical thinking, nothing. No critical thinking. No thinking skills at all, to be honest.
Yep, can't think for themselves. And it's a sad place to be in. I've been there myself, and you got to pull yourself out of that. You got to say, okay, I can think for myself. I can have my own thoughts. I don't have to believe what someone's telling me. I don't have to believe this narrative, you know. And I was even just talking with my mom about that today, about I'm inclined to believe the traditional narrative of Charlie Kirk's assassination. However, everything, you know, not Candace's, you know, what you mean? What you mean? That don't
Candace is seeing shit in her dreams. Right? It's crazy. When a woman starts talking about her dreams, all men know to just tune the fuck out.
Oh my, I know. But even not going as far as Candace, as like a crazy conspiracy, time traveling, whatever. All the stuff with Erica Kirk is just a little, you know.
Eric is weird. I agree there. I mean, I think there's definitely a lot of unanswered questions in the Charlie Kirk assassination. I think the George Zinn thing is probably one of the biggest questions I have. Like the guy who was on the ground that day who said he did it. And then they arrested him, and then they found child porn on his phone. And then he was like, no, I didn't do it, but I was a distraction. It's like, okay, was this good guy who was in the Discord and he just showed up that day to be a distraction and they knew he was going to be there?
Yeah.
But the questions I have are more surrounding like that in the Discord chats than anything else. But Erica Kirk as well. I mean, I swear, if I die, if I get shot in the neck and my wife is walking out to pyrotechnics 2 days later, I'm going to come back and I'm going to smack her just one time. Just one time.
You see the Rolling Loud edits that they've done?
Oh my, yeah. Crazy. I shared the shit out of those because I'm like, this is...
But that's
it's actually
how
insane how she's acting.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you want to... Obviously, just being a compassionate person, you want to say, hey, I can understand because you're trying to carry the torch forward. But, I mean, I just saw the clip the other day of her just gleaming ear to ear about the merch sales, right? And this is like
that was
right
crazy.
after he dies. And so it's like which, hey, everyone grieves in their own way. We're not here to
no, I get that. I've seen it. But that's just still odd. Like, weird. The thing I have the biggest problem with, actually, with Erica is I put myself in the kids' shoes for a second. It's like they're very young. They don't really understand the full scope of what happened or who their parents are, really.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, they know their dad is gone. That is a reality they've probably realized by now. And Erica is out of the house every day, if not, multiple days in a row, things like this. And it's like, if my dad got shot, I would want my other parent home with me. Like I wouldn't want to be with a babysitter or with like grandma or whoever the kids are. Like, I don't know where the kids are, but not that anyone should know.
There's rumors flying that. So there's no proof there's proof that they are not with the grandparents. That's like a rumor that was flying around, is that the grandparents had custody. So there's proof that they do not have custody, but that they're trying to get custody of the children. And then that's a whole other thing that is just weird to me, is that his parents haven't said a word, haven't.
Yeah, I found that a little odd as well. I mean, I feel so bad for the kids. Like, you lose your dad, and then at the same time, it's not like you lost your mom in the same way, but you've lost any form of like parental figure in your home. 100%. That's really sad.
Very, very sad. Well, I know we got a little off subject of Minneapolis there, but good stuff to get into and good stuff to talk about, obviously. I want to get your reaction to this clip because we just talked about Renee Goode, but now we're going to go into Alex Pretty, which not such a pretty situation with that guy, but this hilarious clip from CNN that I want you to react to. That let me know what you think about what they're saying about Alex Pretty.
I got you.
They chose to they killed the wrong guy, right? Because this is like the perfect guy.
The perfect guy.
They chose to...
Crazy. Have you seen the video of him saying, fuck you, assault me, motherfucker? Yeah. Like, he's just batshit crazy. And, like, where I come from, that's consent. Like, that's...
Yep.
I would have loved for the ICE officers the day he kicked that headlight out to have gotten out of the car and just beat the fucking piss out of him right there on the street. Set a real example.
Seriously.
And it's crazy because his parents came out and they were like, he hasn't been to work in a month. He's been acting a little manic. He has been interacting with these federal agents constantly, and we're telling him not to.
Yes.
And
they're like, don't go do that. Don't antagonize him. Don't get in any confrontation.
You don't realize your parents do have your best interests in mind a lot of the times.
Absolutely.
Like, sometimes they're wrong, but your parents a lot of times know what they're talking about. And if he listened, I mean, maybe he'd still be alive, but...
Oh yeah, my mom's been red-pilled for a while, and we'd always have debates with her about stuff, and it's come back around. She's always right. She's always been a Tucker fan until like his whole. She just hates that he like loves Muslims so much now. She can't get over that. And so like she just I was texting her with that today. I said, the thing about Tucker is that he is a big believer in freedom of religion, and so he's gonna let that trump his stance of being a Christian versus like someone like, I think you share this view of, we want a Christian nation. That's
I'm a very open American and Christian nationalist. I have it in my bio, I think.
100%. And so, that's the difference is kind of what I explained to her, and especially in generations, is that, his generation is freedom of religion, and so we want to respect the Muslims because we want everyone.
We could respect people, but at the same time, we need to put people in their place in the sense of they need to know that they shouldn't be in leadership roles. They shouldn't be running the country or running the government or running their state or city, and that the Muslim call to prayer thing in these massive cities is absurd. What's going on in Dearborn, Michigan is a disgrace. It just can't happen like that. I mean, if we acted as if Christians acted as arrogant as some of the Muslims and even a lot of the Zionist Jewish lobby acts, it wouldn't go over the same. We would get a lot more pushback.
Oh yeah. I made a video this morning, as soon as probably about 15 minutes after the announcement about Don Lemon, that I posted about that. And so can definitely relate to that. But I'm pulling up right now the Joe Rogan clip that I want to see, Nick. This is talking about everything that's going on in Minneapolis. And he talks, I'm sure you've heard kind of this talk in rhetoric this week. And even before this week, the last couple weeks, is about a color revolution. And so Joe Rogan had a really good clip that...
with Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, I think this really ties it all together, especially with this situation around Minneapolis and just Alex Priddy and everyone. So
I did a collab with Andrew Wilson's old co-host.
No way.
He used to be on Politically Provoked, and I did a collab with Politically Provoked on Wednesday. Brittany is the host there now, but she was co-host with Andrew Wilson.
That's awesome. What a small world.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking awesome, dude. So this is, I love that the Alex Priddy and the Renee Goode photos are just right there, man. Hey, that's the real photo of Alex Priddy, everyone, by the way, not the prettied version that they made.
Crazy. They were like, they typed into ChatGPT, make him look less Jewish.
Seriously. Did you see the memes about the Netflix documentary?
They're making is that real or not? No,
it's not real, but it's like, it showed this picture of him, the AI version that they made, and then it said Netflix documentary, and he was black.
Oh, I did see that. I even saw Bruce Springsteen wrote a fucking song called Streets of Minneapolis. And
Are you
he named
serious?
both of them in the song.
Oh gosh.
And he talks about like Trump being Gestapo and like,
oh my
it's
goodness.
a fucking retarded song. And it's kind of funny because like he started a podcast with Obama, and somehow my podcast was bigger than theirs. Like they had to stop theirs; it was so unpopular. But
that's awesome.
I'm still fucking standing.
I'm still here. All right, Obama, you're not.
I'm still fucking standing.
Yeah, dude. The only reason Obama is still relevant is because he went on, like he sold his memoir, for like $10 million, I think.
If Obama was white, he would have been the least popular president of all time, possibly.
Oh yeah. It's Joe Biden 1.0 essentially,
The DEI liberals and the black people cling on to Obama, and they will not fucking let go. But they have to realize how shitty of a president he was.
Yeah, I mean, he's from Chicago, the most corrupt city, so it's just it makes sense. But go ahead, Nick. Sorry to keep you waiting. We can watch this clip now.
There's a lot of people that don't understand what's going on, and why riots only in Minneapolis. And why riots in the place where there's an ungodly amount of fraud that has been discovered.
Coincidentally, around the same time.
Exactly. Like instantaneously afterwards, the narrative completely changes. Everybody forgets about the fraud. Now all anybody cares about is ICE and fascists and Nazis.
Yeah.
And it's there's a what a color revolution is.
Of course.
And for people that don't, it's a coordinated effort to cause chaos. And this is a very coordinated thing. The idea that this is an organic protest, these riots are organic, is nonsense. It's provably nonsense because now they have access to the signal chats. So they know that these people...
Cam Higbee, by the way.
Yes.
He's been on the front lines of this. The Crucible has been a big supporter of that effort, my channel. I will often snipe his coverage while it's going on, send my audience over to send in super chats in order to keep this guy going. I think that work is critical.
Yes.
It's critical work. And there's not that many people doing it anymore because of how dangerous it has become.
Yes.
And so I'm a big supporter of that. Doesn't mean I agree with everything he says politically, but what he's doing on the ground there needs to happen.
Right. You need to understand that this isn't organic, regardless of how you feel.
Yeah, what do you think about that? What's your
Right on the money. I mean, there's no way that this is completely organic. It's very clear from that. I mean, and he explains it perfectly, where it's like this kind of all comes up just after the Nick Shirley video goes ultra viral. It makes every major news network. All this Somalian fraud is discovered, while at the same time, the youth is becoming more aware of mass immigration, great replacement, and all these bigger picture things. So yeah, I think it's definitely orchestrated by some undercover federal agents. I think a lot of these riots you see and like some of the more violent things you see around the country, I feel like for the most part, the feds are involved in some way in a lot of them. I mean, it was even proven on January 6th. There was what was there, like 26 of them, or maybe there was even a lot more. I'm not even sure off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's a lot. They were, I mean, the funny thing about January 6th is that my buddies, and some of them are watching, in our group chat, we were talking about how they're feds already back then. It's like this is so organized, so orchestrated, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. And we've seen it so many times that for young people, we can see right through it. We can see this is orchestrated, just like Joe Rogan said. They discover all this fraud, uncover it, and then they switch the narrative to ICE, the Gestapo, all this crap. And they're just trying to distract, I think. And even, not to get off topic of Minneapolis, but even something I talked about today is the Epstein files and Don Lemon arrest. Was that a distraction from the new Fed chair appointee, right? Because
I think I think what they're going to do to actually distract from the Epstein stuff is bomb the shit out of Iran tonight.
100%.
I think by war stuff. No, you didn't. I'm not a financial advisor. You didn't hear it from me, but I could see it happening. I can really see a strike on Iran within the next couple days, if not the next week at the latest.
Yeah, there's a great account, the Pentagon Pizza Report.
Yep.
They track all
going crazy today.
Going crazy. It's been going crazy all week. I've actually been wondering and posting about it, saying, "Hey, is it happening? Is it happening?" And then I think you're hitting the nail on the head. I think that we're going to see something this weekend. Either we're going to wake up to it, or it's going to be happening in the middle of the night, and we're going to be watching it unfold, similar to the Maduro situation.
That's right? What Maduro, I literally woke up and I had like 400 messages, and I'm like, what the fuck? Who died last night? I look at my phone, and it's like, we got Maduro, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, how did I sleep through this? I'm like, that's crazy.
It happens though. Hey, when they're going in the middle of the night with their discombobulator, as Trump said. Discombobulating people.
It's making people's noses bleed and shit.
Crazy.
It's kind of cool at a point. I do enjoy, like, at the core of everything, we're just guys. Like, we like tanks. We like the idea of like bombs and wars and secret fucking weapons and all this. It's interesting. So
we got a hater in the kick chat right now. We got Nev Jack, who said, "I made an account to tell you all that you sound retarded." Well, you're retarded. How about that?
You're a gay bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I don't. We don't shy. Similar to you, we don't shy away from people talking trash. Right back.
At the end of my show, I read every single comment that I get on my episode, and half of it is just me calling people retards. Like, literally, like, and some people are like, "Can you be nicer to the people who watch your show?" And I'm like, I have no obligation to be nice.
No.
Like, I have no obligation to be nice to the people who watch the show. Like, some of you I really like, but at the same time, the retards, you guys know who the fuck you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. Well, we wanted to watch Nick, if you can go to my profile and pull up the video of the Somali fraud. We wanted to go ahead and watch this video with you to get your reaction to what's going on in St. Louis. And I'll even talk about a little bit of some stuff that we uncovered here today. After we watch the video, I'll talk about even more stuff that we uncovered.
Awesome. Yeah, excited to hear about it.
Let's check this out. Sorry, trying to pull this up. Go ahead and play whenever you're ready, Nick.
What's up, America? We're here in St. Louis, Missouri. And over the past week, we've seen nationwide allegations of fraud, waste, and abuse. I was curious, do we have the same fraud happening in our city? Through public record, we were able to uncover what looks like some potential fraud here in St. Louis. What we're going to do today is just make sure that your taxpayer dollars is going to the right things, going back to the community and not in the pocket of potential fraudsters. We're not here to say someone's guilty. We're just here to observe, ask questions, and see what we can find. Let's go. Through digging, we found this guy who owns this building that we're going to. And he started all these different businesses. He started a medical transportation company, and he currently is running like a tax service, immigration services, a home healthcare business. What that made me look into is how do these organizations get most of their funding? And the healthcare, those home healthcare businesses get most of their funding.
Nick, can you hear me?
Through Medicare and Medicaid payments.
Yeah.
Taxpayer funded payments, right?
That's
not publicly available data. And so I just started digging into other stuff that is publicly available. And I'll pull this page out here so everyone can see on the video, is the PPP loans that they got. This Somali Community Center opened in 2019. 8 months later, they received $23,625 in funding through a PPP loan that was forgiven. And then a year later, for the second round of PPP loans in April, they received another $23,625. That in of itself is not fraudulent. The suspicious behavior here is that the community center was started in August of 2019, and then they started immediately, as soon as it was available, applying for these PPP loans. And then there's nothing online about this community center. There's no Facebook page, there's no website. And then this community center we're going to today, there was already another Somali community center registered to the exact same address that got shut down. All these things together is what made us suspicious. It wasn't just one thing, you know what I'm saying? It was that, hey, the more we dug, the more we continued to find. Everything lines up with what we're seeing nationwide.
We're here.
We're here?
Yeah.
And then this is,
oh man.
Right here, we came to Grand Boulevard, where the location is. We're going to send one of our own in to see if he can get any information on the business that's running there right now. And then I did see something as we jumped out of the car that I just wanted to point out. Over here to the right, we actually have the Grand Islamic Center. So we show up, these guys are yelling back and forth to each other down the street, just like a typical rundown city area. There's like loose dogs here. Yeah, let's go. He's on the field. Joseph, he has meta glasses, and so he bravely just volunteered to go and just walk into the home care business and see if he, because the open sign's going right now. Just pray, Lord, that you keep Joseph safe. There's no issues, Lord. We know that. We're taking a risk doing this. He's walking in. He's got the meta glasses going.
Hello. Hey, how's it going? I live with my girlfriend and her mom, and we take care of her.
How old is your mom?
58.
58. Does she have Medicaid?
Yes.
Let me give you my business card. She has Medicaid card.
Yeah, and I saw on Facebook that you guys have a program where I could get paid to take care of my girlfriend's mom.
Yeah, what you could do is like you call them Medicaid, the Missouri Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
You give them the business, and then they will evaluate. They will come interview with her.
Mm-hmm.
If she qualifies, then she will hire either you or her daughter
Mm-hmm.
to work for her, and then you guys will get paid.
Okay.
That. Do you want me to give you the number to call?
Okay, yeah, great.
Let me give you the number to call. Just let them know that we try to do in-home service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let them know.
And then
service.
will you be able to help me with any of the paperwork, or?
There's not that much to do. They will come.
Okay.
You call that number,
They'll come interview.
and then they'll come interview her, evaluate if she qualifies.
Okay.
Once she qualifies, they're gonna ask you, do you have an agency? That's why I give you my business card.
Mm-hmm.
Just let them know.
Then we say this is the agency.
So
Okay.
you tell in-home service.
Okay.
Here, right? Take this. When you call, you just say in-home service.
Okay.
In-home services.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Right, Joseph just got out of there, and we had to dip because we were trying to debrief. And what happened while we were there?
The owner of the business came outside and started taking pictures of our car.
Yeah. If you're doing something completely legal and completely legitimate, why do you need to send people out to take pictures of journalists? As you can see from the video, it seems like a legitimate business operation, right? As soon as Joseph walked in and he said, hey, I'm trying to get some help, The first question he asked is if she was on Medicaid. You don't have to only take Medicaid or Medicare. You can take cash. And so what we're really concerned about now, and we're going to turn all of this information over to law enforcement and to the Attorney General, but what we're concerned about now is where's the taxpayer-funded payments going? As far as the money that he got from the PPP loan, we're just curious what he did with that money. That's taxpayer money that we can verify he received. He received almost $50,000 taxpayer-funded money that was forgiven. And we're just curious, where did that money go? What did he do with that money? Did it go to any legitimate purposes? If so, we just want to see what he did, because the community center was only open for about 2 or 3 years, and then it got shut down. As a St. Louisian and as Missourian growing up here, it's sad to see where this city has gone, and I think it has a lot to do with the corruption that's happening in this city. Thanks so much for watching the video. As you can see, we've got some interesting things that we found here in St. Louis. We're uncovering more every single day. We're going to take all this information and put it through the proper channels and turn it over to the right people so they can do further investigations into the potential fraud to see if there's any justice that can be done for you, the taxpayer. And if you're a St. Louis resident who has maybe some information on potential fraud, don't be afraid to forward that to us. You can reach out to me here on Twitter at Isaiah Asher. You can give us all that information, and what we'll do is we'll do our own investigation, and we'll even go ask questions to see what's going on. Anything that we find, we're going to turn over to local law enforcement, to the Attorney General, so they can do the correct investigations, because we want to make sure that the community is being supported and that taxpayer dollars are going back to you, the taxpayer, in your community, and not into the pocket of potential fraudsters. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, comment, share it with someone. See you guys later.
Well,
your editing was incredible there as well. It's I noticed the Muslim music the second day he walked into the building. I was like, holy shit,
dude, that wasn't us. That was playing inside the building.
Yeah, one time for Joseph for editing and everything. But yeah, that Indian music was playing when he walked in there. That was not edited in on our end.
Yeah, that's
really
crazy.
I want to get your reaction. Before we do, we got to take another quick ad break here. Just for the viewers, we got to take the ad break, right? All right, let me tell you about my Valentine's Day sponsor. And honestly, this one's a no-brainer. Chicago State Company, code HEART26. Look, you could fight for a reservation at some overpriced restaurant, sit there surrounded by strangers, rush through your meal, or you could stay at home, cook together, and have a way better experience. These are USDA prime steaks, hand-selected, wet-aged up to 40 days, restaurant quality, delivered to your door. You hear that, Nick? Right to your door. Here's the deal. It's the last week for free Valentine's shipping. Order $199 or more, use code HEART26, and you get $145 in free gifts. That's 2 Maryland crab cakes. You love the crab cakes, Nick. 6 Italian chocolate pastries, and free shipping. So you've got an appetizer, main course, dessert, all done for you. Go to mychicagosteak.com/heart26, code HEART26. That's HEART26. Link is in the description below. Go check that out. Thanks, Chicago State Company. But now back to the video and your reaction, James. So that was about a week. We've only did about a week of research before that video. And then Nick and some of my other friends really encouraged me to get out there. Nick was there filming. Nick was actually the one filming the video. And so we all went out there with me, Joseph, and Nick and filmed that video, but only with about a week's time of research versus, Nick, Shirley, and David. David had been doing years and years of research, but just within a couple of days, we were able to uncover and find that Somali community center. We identified it. There's about a dozen different businesses that are registered to that address, from home healthcare companies to medical transportation companies, and multiple Somali community centers that get opened, get nonprofit status, and they get closed down because they don't register the right paperwork with the government.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's
crazy. That's good work for 1 week's work. Holy shit.
Yeah. So it was, that's what I'm saying, is that it was that easy. You know what I mean? It was that because I just looked for home healthcare companies in St. Louis, and it's like, oh, that looks legit. What the hell is Peaceful Home Healthcare? This website doesn't work. What's their Facebook page? Wait, okay. And then when I went to the Secretary of State website, they started in 2020, but their Facebook page wasn't made until 2025. And if you go to their Facebook page, the cover photo, similar to the Quality Leering Center, they couldn't even spell meals right. They spelled meals MEAILS on their photo. So, yeah, lots going on in St. Louis, similar to what we saw in Minneapolis, right?
Yeah,
and
that is crazy.
I'm convinced.
I think there's probably, I think in Minneapolis they said there's anywhere from like $8 to $10 billion worth of fraud. I'd imagine in the country alone, like throughout America, I mean, there's hundreds of billions of dollars in fraud happening.
Yes.
And a lot of it's going to be done by a lot of these immigrants. Not even just the illegal immigrants, but a lot of the legal immigrants as well are going to be abusing these systems. A lot of the people who come into this country don't respect it at all. They don't respect the people of the country. They don't respect the laws. They don't respect the order
100%.
of it at all. And it's very clear in the way they talk about people.
100%. 100% agree with you. Yeah, it's sad. You know, and then you got people like President Trump, Vivek Ramaswamy, right, who are saying that we need more. We're not smart enough. We're too stupid.
Insane.
You know, we need these illegal. Now, I do have one exception. I did post today. Now, I saw that the Pakistani deportation guy, basically, like the Tom Homan of Pakistan, he was able to deport like 2 million illegal immigrants this year. And so I said, hey, I'm up for one H-1B visa, and let's get that guy to America so he can help us with deportations, right? But anyone else, we don't need it. We don't, it's a scam.
I think we should just put them all on a ship and let them figure it out from there.
Yep. Hey, go back. I mean, if you guys are so smart, why does India look like it does? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's like Somalia is one of the biggest ones. It's like Kai Schwemmer said this, and it's a great thing, but it's like a country is its people. And the reason Somalia is a shithole is because the people, they act like shit. And it's like, you should only take in immigrants from places that you'd want to be more like in some way.
Yes.
And do we want to be more like Somalia? No. Do we want to be more like some specific European countries? You can make that argument. You know, there's a lot of good European countries, and the bad parts of them, to be honest, tend to be the immigrants who come in from Africa.
Yes.
Not the actual European culture itself.
No.
So a country is its people. And when you import the entire third world, what are you going to get? You're going to get a country filled with third worldists. You're going to get a country that turns into a shithole inevitably. And by 2045, they're estimating that white people will be a minority race in America.
Wow.
And a lot of these races, like everyone wants to call white people the most racist people. Far from true, in my opinion. I think, to be honest, everyone is a bit racist. But at the same time, the way these people talk about white people specifically, and the way even like white liberals will talk about white people as if we're
it's the self-hating, right?
Yeah, self-hating whites, to be honest, they're almost worse than the fucking immigrants. Self-hating white people put them on the boat with the immigrants, let them figure it the fuck out. Yeah. Self-hating white people are I've had probably 5 full 2-hour-long monologues about how much I despise self-hating white people.
What I said, hey, if you really think that, these illegal immigrants, that there's no borders and that we're being so bad, right? I want just one liberal woman, one white liberal woman to sneak into Canada and see what happens.
She gets shot.
Exactly.
She gets shot on her way in.
You think that we're being unfair? Try to sneak into Canada, okay? Try to sneak into Mexico. See what happens, because you'll find that you're going to be arrested, probably put into a jail cell for a couple days while they figure things out with no toilet paper, beans and rice, probably. That's what's going to happen. The same thing we do. It's so I want to see.
I said on my show the other day, I said I would pay for the trip for the whole family if the Epstein family wanted to take a trip over to Somalia. Because I was like, they're dying on the hill of defending these Somalians in Minneapolis, but those Somalians wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. They wouldn't throw a raft to them if they were drowning in the ocean. And they talk so highly of these people, but it's like, okay, go to Somalia then. And God forbid, like, I don't actually want this to happen. God forbid it happen. But it's like the women in your family would be raped and you would be killed is the reality of what would happen if you stepped into Somalia as like a upper class white guy. Like there's a reason that Brian and Ed I used to live in the same county as them. There's a reason that they live in the nicest neighborhood in the county, in a gated neighborhood, in a gated home behind a gated neighborhood. Why do they do that? To keep they live in Lee County. I won't dox past that because that's just very publicly available info. But in Lee County, there's like Fort Myers. There's deep hoods in Lee County. There's a lot of gang violence in that area. And the reason they live where they live is to be away from that. And it's like they're dying on the hill of defending these people that they want to get away from in their own private lives. They're like, I've debated the Krasensteins and Don Lemon. They're all retarded. None of them are like, both of the brothers equally as retarded. I think that twin retard genetics got us. They're both retards.
Yeah, and I can't stand their voices either, dude.
It's like this. It's like if you put like 10 rubber bands around your ball sack, right? Like right at the top.
That's exactly what it sounds like, right? It's how much helium did you take before you started freaking talking, dude? It's We're about an hour and a half into the show coming up. If you're just joining us, click the like button, share the stream with someone. We've been talking about Don Lemon. We were talking about Minneapolis, Alex Pretty, Renee Goode. We're talking about, the reverse racism that's rampant in America against white people. We're talking all about all the controversial subjects and getting into the main subject, I would say, the main headline of the night that me and you have been excited about is the Epstein files.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. Epstein.
So, 3 million files just got dropped today. Still, just want to let everyone know, still not all the files.
No.
Still not all of them, even though they
only like a small
it.
percentage of them, to be honest, that have been released. Yeah. And I don't know if you saw, they released a bunch of them and they deleted a bunch of them as well right after. Same thing they did last time, where anything that had Trump's name in it, they then deleted after they released it. But everyone was able to I have it downloaded on my computer, so it's like you can't delete it off my unless Mossad is going to hack my computer tonight. Please don't. But they're not getting it.
I know we had that document that you shared with us, Nick. Do you have that that document that James had shared with us that is really incriminating?
Crazy.
Probably the most incriminating piece of evidence that I've seen that he was able to share with us. Let me know when you got that, Nick. I'll wait for you. Wait for your cue on that. But while we're waiting, something that we can kind of commentate on is the email between Bill Gates, the email exchange, I should say, between Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein.
STD thing with the antibiotics.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, his wife, here's the thing. Billionaires' wives rarely leave them for cheating. And that's very known. Like a lot of women will overlook cheating if you're worth a B, especially if he was at the time the world's richest guy back in the day. A lot of women will overlook that. Not all, but a lot. And she did. She openly knew he was cheating for a very long time. But she said that she left him because of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And then now we get this information that Bill Gates was trying to secretly dose his wife with antibiotics because she got the clap, or he had the clap, or I don't know exactly what he had, but something crazy.
Some STD. Yeah, from the Russian girls. And
can't trust the Russians.
They're always the Russians, right? The Russia. And we'll get into that actually a little bit here in a moment. But yeah, the Russian girls caused the STD. Nick, are you pulling up the document? Just want to make sure you can hear us. You're on mute. If you can hear us.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it was this document, right?
Perfect. Let's check this out. There we go. Yeah, zoom in on that. So
crazy.
So this is sensitive, so it'll be first and last email depending on your discretion. You could choose to take it or trash it, but this comes from a person that has been there and seen it all as a former staff at the Zorro. The material below was taken from Jeffrey Epstein as my insurance in case of future litigation against Epstein. Sorry, no questions. What is damning about Jeffrey Epstein is yet to be written. Wow, that's pretty daunting. Did you know somewhere in the hills outside the Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on the orders of Jeffrey and Madam G, that's Ghislaine Maxwell? Both died by strangulation during rough fetish sex. Ridiculous. And then you see there linked footage, links for a 13-minute video where Jeffrey Epstein's having sex with a minor, a 27-minute video with a threesome video, a 12-minute video, a 19-minute video there with an underage girl having sex. Interesting, the choice of words underage versus minor. I don't know why they chose to use different verbiage there, but interesting. 7 minutes of an underage girl, Matthew Mellon video. I don't know who that is, but interesting. Okay. Maybe that's another, we'll have to look that person up here in a minute. And a 23-minute video, rape fantasy video, an underage girl. Jeez. 15-minute video, girl from Bay Area, suicide attempt confession to Ghislaine Maxwell. So that's a girl who's admitting that she attempted suicide. And I imagine because of the weight and depression and trauma that she experienced, probably at the hands of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, is probably.
And Matthew Mellon was he was the chairman of the New York Republican State Committee or State Finance Committee.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, what do we think about this? You shared this with us, James. So let's hear your commentary on this really quick.
I think it's clear that there's a lot more out there that we don't know. It's very obvious that he is some form of intelligence. I like to say it's probably a good mix of CIA and Mossad. And that comes from his relationships he has with these world leaders all over the world, with Ehud Barak specifically. Ehud Barak was the former prime minister of Israel and former chief of Mossad. Yep. And not only that, but then his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, her dad was Robert Maxwell, who was part of Mossad as well. So I think it's clear that he was intelligence, that all these videos that Epstein was saving, maybe he was saving them to just go back and watch them, have them for himself. But at the same time, a lot of it is probably some form of blackmail.
Absolutely.
And I think it's very clear that over everything that they were doing, the blackmail operation seems to be one of the bigger picture items for me that I focus on.
Absolutely.
Another thing just popped on my dashboard about Epstein. I just got this update. Haven't 100% confirmed it yet, but it is from a credible source. And it says, Mamdani's mother attended a party at Ghislaine Maxwell's house with Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos. And Epstein was throwing the party, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but it is from a pretty credible source. So,
hey, I'll take it. That's interesting.
That's
okay.
wild.
Not surprised there.
Literally just popped up on my dash as we were talking about this.
Well, I know we wanted to check out something about Trump, Nick. Didn't you have something else about Trump from the Epstein files? That you had sent me about raping a 13-year-old girl or something.
That was floating around for a while, that him and Epstein.
Yeah, but I think that they said they took it off, but I think I liked it on my.
I have it here. I'll who do I send it
I am
to?
about to piss my pants. I'm gonna turn my camera off and go to the bathroom while you're pulling that up. If you wanna share that,
honestly,
I just shared it to your account. Cool. I don't have Nick's.
Forward it to me.
That's okay. I can send it to him really quick here.
Yeah, real quick.
Because I definitely want to see. That's the thing that was taken down for everyone listening. This is the information that we were talking about earlier. This was posted and then removed.
Yeah, I think the most interesting stuff today was probably tied to Elon and Trump that was released. A lot of Elon stuff, a lot of Trump stuff.
Be right back, guys.
If this stuff really was, if this stuff really was on here and really got
take over,
that one is crazy.
Yeah, it seems like Elon did have some affiliation to him. I saw other stuff about Woody Allen being connected. We kind of already knew that, but they went to some form of a pedophile convention together. That's what they called it, their own words. Let's see, what else? I had a bunch of stuff saved here, but another pretty damning thing was the FBI report that was in the files that claims that Donald Trump is pretty much owned by Israel and that Jared Kushner is the one running the presidency.
Yeah,
and was
I saw
in his first
that
term
too.
as well. And I think that's probably pretty accurate. I mean, the way we've seen Trump bend over, like Trump is a guy who has a huge ego and he's very unwilling to bend the knee to many people, but who has he been willing to bend the knee to time and time again? And that's Bibi Netanyahu. And if you look at the timing of like the Iran bombing, you look at the timing of when the Epstein files were buried, you look at the timing of anything that like comes into that, like, oh, was Israel involved? Look at the dates of when Bibi traveled to the United States. He's been on, I think, 6 trips to the United States so far in the last year since Donald Trump has been in office. And all those dates kind of mix together. The dates with Iran and the dates with Epstein and the dates with Bibi's visits. They all mix together. And you could see that Bibi is influencing Trump in some way. And I'd imagine Israel has some form of blackmail on Trump. Because I've talked about before how Epstein was most likely Mossad. And I don't think all the files necessarily exist in the United States. I think a lot of them exist in Tel Aviv.
Did you see the emails that came out in the Epstein files? I know there's so much, obviously, so I don't expect either of us to know everything that's in the files that came out today, obviously. But there's an email between, it wasn't Ehud Barak, it was another former prime minister of Israel that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's very, very well-known prime minister. They were emailing back and forth. And Jeffrey said to him, for some reason, he says, hey, make sure to tell them that I'm not Mossad.
I think that was Ehud Barak. Was it someone else, though?
I can't remember, so you can definitely tell me if I'm wrong there. But
I think I have that somewhere actually saved here. But
'cause that was super interesting to me, like why it was an unprompted.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's overwhelming evidence to show that he is Mossad. It would be crazy if he wasn't. I mean, all his connections to Mossad are extremely strong.
Did we look at this yet? I just wanted to share
That's
this.
the one I just shared over.
Okay, this is the one you're talking. Yeah, Donald Trump, the president, had parties.
Yeah, this is the one I was even talking about too, Zay. So this one.
Yes. Yeah, this was
the one I was telling you about, Isaiah. Like, read this whole thing, Isaiah, out loud.
Yeah, you want to know one other thing I noticed really quick too?
Yeah,
before
absolutely.
you read it, if you look in the midsection when you get to the part where they're naming names in there, attorney Alan Dershowitz and then the attorney Bob Shapiro. Do you know who when those two lawyers teamed up, who they teamed up to defend?
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson. They were both on O.J.'s dream team. Kind of crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy. I can't believe I knew that, man. That's like a trivia question. You know, you gotta keep that in the back of your mind for trivia.
Who defended O.J. Simpson and was also on Epstein's island?
All right, we got one of my buddies, Waste Management, in the chat. He said, "Why does the guest look like Rugrat from Wolf of Wall Street movie?"
Yo, Rugrat was a Jew. I am an Italian mogger. Let's relax there.
Hey, relax. Yeah, we can't label him with those, right?
They called him Rugrat because of his piece of shit hairpiece. Look at this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, that's
hair.
real. That's real hair right there, baby. He's that's a good friend of mine, Waste Management. We call him the trash. We call him the trash man. That's why he made himself that's why he made his name Waste Management. Love you. Love you, Rashida. Thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate you, Rashida. But this is some interesting stuff here. Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls, which we're all familiar with those types of parties that we've known about Donald Trump. You know, Jeffrey Epstein would bring the children in and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. This is talking about Donald Trump, by the way.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Unreal.
It's like Dave Portnoy, one bite, and then he gives a rating. It's like one finger, then he's like 7.5. That's a fucked up joke.
He's like, "You're fired.
You're fired. You're fired." Not tight enough. You got Elon Musk, Donnie Jr., Ivanka, who was there. This is some weird stuff. You got your family attending this stuff with you. This is super weird stuff. This is billionaire stuff, though. Eric Trump was there. Attorney Alan Dershowitz, who's been all over the Epstein files, was also there with attorney Bob Shapiro. We were taken in rooms, forced to give oral sex to Donald Trump, forced to allow them to penetrate us. I was only 13 years old when Donald Trump raped me. Ghislaine Maxwell was also present. And yeah, you can see all those people on the right, again, listed for all the people that were present. Jeffrey Epstein, Elon Musk, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump. So all the Trump brothers, right? And
everyone except Barron and Kai, pretty much.
I know. And Jared Kushner wasn't there. Wonder why he wasn't there.
He was hanging out in Tel Aviv. He was plotting against the government. He was running the country, allegedly. That's allegedly. What we're hearing. He's running the country for Trump.
He's the cause of the Russia hoaxes, apparently, what we're finding from these Epstein files. So super interesting stuff here, and damning evidence against President Trump. And one of the reasons folks are saying they pulled these files down, because these are the files that were uploaded and then taken right back down. So
yep.
I see you just sent me something. What's this?
I sent you two different things. There was one thing about Jay-Z in there, and then there was another thing about a couple things about Elon.
Okay, here we go.
And then there was there's another thing about the OG George Bush raping a child as well, but a male child.
Oh my gosh.
I'll send that to you too.
See, this is just some wild stuff that's being uncovered in these files. Oh, wrong thing, Nick, sorry. I sent you one already, and then I'm sending you the second link here. These are all from the Epstein files from today, you're saying?
Yeah, these were all new releases.
All right. Yeah, this first one we're looking at it says, Sean Carter and Pusha T are in the Epstein files. Pusha T being identified as a handler, actually, of an Epstein victim. What'd you say?
Where'd you send it?
I sent it to your X account. Yeah, he said Pusha T also attended the party and drugged the victim before engaging in sexual abuse.
While you're getting it pulled up, I'm gonna grab more water really quick.
Dude, take your time.
For 1 sec.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Pusha T attending with Jay-Z is what we're reading here that James just sent over. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. It says, you able to zoom in at all, Nick?
No, I can't on this picture.
See, on 7/10 at 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time, redacted, called the FBI National Threat Operations Center, INTOC, to identify herself as a victim of sex abuse by Jeffrey Epstein and others. Blank provided the following information. In approximately 1994, Blank revealed herself to Blank as a past victim of sex abuse by Epstein. Blank described the abuse occurred during parties Blank. Blank further identified Blank as a friend of Blank in approximately 1996. Blank resided with Blank in Blank. This is hilarious. An unknown man abducted her from her home when she later awoke in the presence of, Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z. What do you know? While Weinstein had inserted his fingers into Blank, Blank believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Blank estimated she was abducted on 7 occasions, awakening each time in an opulent indoor setting, and suffered from sex abuse on multiple of these occasions in which Epstein participated. Blank recalled Leon Black and William Barr, that's crazy, current United States Attorney General, being present during some of the occasions of abuse.
Do you know the whole connection with the Barr family to Epstein too? That's insane. No. So Epstein's first job he had, not even graduating college, was he was a teacher at the Dalton School, which is this extremely prestigious school. He was actually fired because he had a inappropriate relationship with a 16-year-old student. But who hired him?
Surprise!
It was Barr's father.
Wow. Okay.
And then who was the Attorney General under Trump?
William Barr.
Exactly. There's a crazy connection where it goes down almost generationally. And I noticed you said, I just put my headphones when you said it, the Harvey Weinstein. Candace is never beating the allegations. Candace is friends with that guy now. Yeah. Candace is doing interviews with him in jail and shit like that. And it's like, dude, this guy is like the most. Candace is
guilty of them all. Like, he's so guilty. Like, there's so much evidence that's been stacked against him, and so many probably more women than Epstein that have come out against Harvey Weinstein.
Oh yeah.
And you're interviewing him. That's interesting. Hey, she can do what she wants, but yeah, it's interesting person to interview there. Yeah. So
Candace is an interesting character.
Yeah.
I think she should take a few months off and just be a mother. That's my take on her.
just take a break, take a breather,
reset,
tea,
stop talking about her fucking dreams.
Yeah. Maybe take some melatonin before you go to sleep or something. Help you sleep better. Sleep through it. You won't be woken up by those dreams.
Candace, I always say all the time. It's like the average IQ of I don't know if I don't think I said this today, but the average IQ of like black women is like 82 in America. Do we really think Candace is like the sole black female genius in this country?
Yeah. Have you seen her? You saw the clips of her where she can't like say the words. She can't even say words right.
My favorite X account, Candace Owens trying to read architecture.
Architecture.
So
and architecture.
Funny.
And she had me messing up saying architecture because I was like, oh no, it's architecture, not architecture.
And it's like fine if you do it once. Like I talk crazy fast, so every now and then I'll fuck up a word. But if you do it every day, if you do it repeatedly, it's like, okay, you're just really dumb. Yes. And she's like, this debacle. And I'm like, you stupid bitch.
It just hurts. It hurts inside. You know what I mean? Well, I want to keep the show moving forward because we got one more topic that we're going to cover. That's a big topic as well, and I think we'll be talking a lot about it. And I wanted to get through the left-wing lunatics as many clips as we could as well. We still got a lot of people, 55 live viewers right now, so people are hanging with us. They don't mind the late show, which is great. So the next topic that I had for us is the new Fed chair, Kevin.
All politicians.
Warsh. And so glad that you pulled that clip up, Nick. I'm going to go to that clip here.
He was in the Epstein files too.
Yep. He was in the Epstein files. So, of course, buddy, of course it's the guy. Trump tried to make it sound today in the Oval Office. He was signing a executive order for something. I think it was for the ND 500 thing when he was signing that or something. But he was signing an executive order, and he said that it was the central casting call pick. So he's like, he was kind of like joking about it, like, oh yeah, like Central Casting is a really well-known casting agency, and so he was making that joke that it's the Central Casting pick. So I don't know if it's a Israel pick that was forced on him, because something I've talked about with Nick, sometimes we'll talk about on the show, is that we think that Trump sometimes does want to do the right things. He's just, controlled by Israel and his donors, unfortunately, and so he can't do that. So we got Kevin Warsh. He is in the Epstein files. Not only that, a couple other things I wanted to highlight before we watch some clips and just dive into more is that he played a key role actually in the 2008 financial crisis. Funny enough. So he's already been involved. He's already worked for the Fed, and he's already been working for the Fed before this appointment. Played a key role in the 2008 financial crisis. He's the Fed rep to the G20 summit. Pretty interesting. Visited the island. Not only is he in the files, he visited the island, Epstein Island. And then this is the clip that we're about to get into. His father-in-law is Ronald. I can't even say this right. Lauder, which is like
Ronald Lauder.
Lauder, which is like the Estee Lauder fortune family.
Yep.
He married Ronald's daughter.
Wow.
And Ronald Lauder is the president of the World Jewish Congress.
Yep. That's crazy. Wow.
And so
it always comes back. It always makes it way back there.
Yeah, right? And so I just want to set that up because I think if we set that up, this clip is a little bit more impactful that we're about to see. This clip that we're about to watch is Ronald Lauder talking to the World Jewish Congress, and this is the kind of person that we have in charge now of the Fed. This is the guy's father-in-law. So let's check this out.
All world leaders, all politicians must lead in this effort. Words are not enough. Political speeches are not enough. Laws must be passed.
That Rabbi Shmuley Boteach right there.
That is holding his
real
phone.
Laws that will put these
Oh my
hate-mongers
God, please pause
away
it.
in prison
Pause it,
for a
please.
long time.
Why is this the room of the world's ugliest people?
Dude, Nick, go back to that lady, please.
They're all so ugly.
Oh my gosh. What happened to her?
That's crazy. Her glasses aren't even hooking behind her ear. They're just so tight on her head, too. Like, what the fuck is that whole look?
What's going on?
Oy vey.
Oh my gosh, that was that. So think about that. The broadcaster who's picking the camera shots, they're like, that lady right there. We got to take this shot. We're going live. All right, camera 3, we're taking you. Go.
You go Rabbi Shmuley, then this lady.
Yeah, exactly.
Rabbi Shmuley is the fucking worst, too. That guy sucks. I think even the Jews hate that guy.
Oh, they do. They do. He
just makes them all look bad.
Yeah, he's not that popular. All right, keep going, Nick. Sorry.
Away in prison for a long time.
Can you go back maybe like 5 or 10 seconds? Sorry, I kind of got distracted. Yeah, there we go.
Severe, tough, real laws that will put these hate mongers away in prison for a long time. All world.
Yeah, so this is Ronald Lauder, and I think I had...
What I'm hearing is he wants to put me in jail because I criticize his precious Zionist state.
That's exactly what, 100% what he's saying. And here's the copy that I wanted to read from this post. This is the long kind of breakdown from this account, The Patriot Voice, at @TPV_John. You guys can go check him out yourself. He said, as expected, Trump just announced the new Federal Reserve Chairman, Kevin Warsh, and this one's a doozy. You may want to sit down for this one. Kevin is a member of or connected to the World Jewish Congress, the Bilderberg Group Steering Committee, the Rockefeller Foundation. His father-in-law, as we just were talking about, is billionaire Ronald Lauder, of the heir of Estee Lauder Makeup, who called on all politicians and world leaders to enforce tough, real laws for anti-Semitism. And what he means by that is anti-Zionism, as we know, and said people should be put into prison for it. The mega group, through his father-in-law, Ron. The last one is particularly bad. The mega group is a group of Jewish billionaires, which included Jeffrey Epstein, through Lex Wexner, Charles Brofman, and Steven Spielberg, among other individuals. We already know what they're all about. Kevin is also big on Bitcoin, which signals that the U.S. fiat dollar will be crashing and replaced with an all-digital currency system, rounding out the cashless NWO beast system here in America. That's what this account is saying about this whole situation.
Wow. I actually think Epstein is... I think Epstein was part of the founding of Bitcoin.
I would not be surprised.
There was one file about it in the first release of files, and there wasn't a crazy amount of information. But then there's all these like weird cryptic things you always hear people say, and like one of the ones I really remember is someone saying like, if you guys knew who was actually behind Bitcoin, the whole world would crash. The whole world would go crazy. Yeah, and I think maybe he's not the guy, he's not the coder or anything like that, but I think he was one of the funders. I think he was
a financier, right?
Yeah, New York financier Jeff Epstein.
Yeah, he was really good. I was like, that's what everyone didn't understand. It's like, how does this guy, like, he just gets money, and it's like, well,
Leon Black gave him like $300 million alone just for taxes.
Yeah. And that's like so funny in the emails with Bill Gates. That's what he's talking about. It's like, oh, you don't want to give me money anymore, and blah blah blah, right? But something I just caught from this Patriot Voice, super ironic that he didn't even. This is just ironic. He didn't mean to. This is not tied to the 2008 financial crisis thing I was talking about earlier, right? So Kevin Warsh, he was pivotal and played a key role in the 2008 financial crisis, getting America through that. Well, this account here said, because of the Bitcoin stuff that I was just reading about the crash of the dollar, he said, we could be looking at a financial catastrophe that makes 2008 look like child's play.
Holy shit.
So I don't think that's a coincidence that this guy is calling out that it could be another 2008 financial crisis, and the guy that led us through the 2008 financial crisis is now the appointee. Again, he's not actually He's just nominated. He's not been appointed yet. He's got to go through the Senate committee, and then he has to be voted on by the Senate. But he's nominated by President Trump. This is the guy that he picked.
It does feel like the worst to come. Or it feels like the worst stuff we haven't even seen yet. Like, as much as the first year of Trump has kind of been a failure in a lot of ways, it seems like we haven't got the worst of it.
16% of promises kept. That's it. 16%. I wrote an article. I wrote my first X article about this. Only 16% of his promises have been kept.
Yeah. I mean, he's really just been bending the knee to all the lobbyist groups. He's spending too much time. He's spending too much time being performative is one of my biggest complaints, where it's like he's acting like they're really going hard on these deportations and they're really doing all this stuff, which is then empowering the left to act the way they're acting.
100%.
But in reality, we're not doing anything, but the left is still taking it as, oh, we're doing a lot, so they're going to look back at us. Yeah. Oh, I mean, way less. He had the second most deportation. I think Bill Clinton had 11. Obama had about like 5.5 or 6 mil. And then Trump last year alone got 250,000 maybe. Nothing.
Yeah. And then they tried to rely on the self-deportation data, which is self-reported. It's almost as reliable as, the death toll from that. You can't trust you can't trust Hamas with the death toll, and you can't trust Israel with the death toll. It's just asking. You can't trust these people with the numbers.
Fuck them all. Let's just get rid of the whole Middle
exactly.
East. Let's just
America first, America only. That's what we care about. That's what it's all about. Is how can we get? And I was talking with a couple older folks, a guy who's running for Congress this week. I said that's what young people want. We're just sick of sending money away. We're sick of other people being enriched, and we're suffering here.
Tim Dillon did a great he's a comedian, but he did a great little bit about it on his show, where he was like everyone's willing to accept a certain amount of propaganda, but people become unwilling to accept that level of propaganda when they're gaining nothing from it. Boomers were willing to accept it because their houses cost $20,000 to $30,000 because you could afford a house with just a regular job, because you didn't have women who were doing OnlyFans, and every woman wasn't a degenerate slut, or not every, but a lot of, a big portion of Gen Z weren't these degenerate whores. And marriage and all the life goals that, the picture perfect life goals, they were very achievable, even with the propaganda you were being sold. Now we're still being sold propaganda, but it's you can't afford a house. You can't get a good job. You're getting replaced in your own country. Your race is essentially dying off. And your reward for that is you get to go be a DoorDash driver and deliver someone's Taco Bell at 1 a.m. That's your reward for dealing with this propaganda. It's no, I want the same reward they had. If I'm going to put up with propaganda, at the very least, give me a decent fucking home, a wife who hasn't fucked the entire town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we just people don't have the ability to achieve that as they did in the past. My grandparents bought their house for, I think, $30,000, somewhere around there. Crazy.
Well, I wanted to get into our favorite part of the show. This is everyone's favorite part of the show. It's called the Left-Wing Lunatics. And so, Nick, start getting those clips ready. This is the part of the show where we watch the left-wing lunatics freak out and we react. So without further ado, let's play that opener.
They're shouting loud but making no sound, chasing their tails round and round. Oh, the chaos never quits. Left-wing lunatics, they're flipping, they're tripping, they're losing it quick. Left-wing lunatics, the world's a certain pushing through the quick trip.
Oh yeah,
That's
AI wrote
crazy.
that song for me, James.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so
no copyright on it either as well.
No.
That's nice.
No, I put it on TikTok, the TikTok Jew Talk basically now.
You tell me, I'm on my third ban.
Seriously,
I just got another account banned. The first account I got banned because I made a video. It's actually my most viral video on Instagram. Got 10 million views. I said,
amazing.
Did you know 61% of Israeli men don't view rape as rape? Or wait, no, I said, did you know 61% of Israeli men are allergic to sunlight? And I said, if you don't believe me, go Google it. And when you Google it, it takes you to the article. It says 61% of Israeli men don't view rape as rape as long as they know the person.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Got me a ban.
Got me banned. Hey, it's just a factual fact, right?
And then I got another one banned because I said, isn't it crazy that Larry Ellison buys TikTok and then I get banned? And I got banned for that.
And I get banned for calling Larry Ellison out. What's the deal here, right? Well, it looks like Nick's got a clip pulled up for us, one of our first clips to react to. Let's check out these white liberal old women. Go ahead and play that clip, Nick.
And I'm Jane Fonda's internal lesbian anger.
Dana, I'm not a lesbian.
There's still time, Jane. There's still time.
I've been fighting injustices like these for a very long time.
She's been fighting like this for like 100 years, everybody.
Oh, let's not go that far.
70? 70?
That's better.
She's been fighting like this for like 70 years, everybody.
So I'm here to remind you to exercise your First Amendment rights.
Fight for the Constitution,
freedom of speech.
Speak the up.
Freedom of assembly.
Get your asses out on the street.
It's time to be brave and stand up. Enough is enough.
Wow.
Jane, that was really good. What she said.
It's time to stand up. Enough is enough.
It's like a shitty ripoff of the old Key and Peele Obama anger translator. That's what I was saying the whole time. I'm like, this is just like a shitty knockoff. This is like, I don't know. I mean, it's just embarrassing at a point when women shouldn't, I don't know, I shouldn't generalize, but a little bit, like women shouldn't be telling people what to do in that sense. Like, control your home. Don't try and control the fucking world. That's my
Especially
first
the white
take.
liberal women.
But yeah, they feel so entitled, like they're on this like moral high ground, like they're so much better than everyone because they're so accepting and la la la. And it's like, this is why Exhibit A, Your Honor, on why we need to repeal the 19th Amendment. I mean, like, we can't allow these women to parade around thinking they're better than people when in reality, it's like, if you put me head to head in a debate with either one of these women, I would demolish them because they probably don't know anything. Like, they're talking about the Constitution. I bet they couldn't name a single fucking thing from the Constitution.
No.
People, and most of these liberals are pretty delusional. And even when you run into like the ones who are more informed, like I would say, like, as much as I despise them, like Parker and Dean they're very informed. But their faults are that they create these like unrealistic hypotheticals because that's the only way they can win debates. Like liberals fail to win debates unless they're shaming you or unless they create a hypothetical to try and like disprove you in some alternate reality that will never
try to catch you up on like one word, right? Oh no, well you said that. It's like, okay, well let me step back and re-say that.
Very disingenuous debaters, all liberals, but specifically those two.
100%. Looks like Nick's got our next clip here. Let's see this one. Oh my gosh.
I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh,
so this
God.
is something that's us, I would say probably like we're in the thousands at this point.
Is this a guy or a girl? I can't even tell.
And then through the day, which is patrolling. And what we're looking for and kind of just going through is pretty straightforward. Ooh, bright red light. But we're basically looking for any staging that ICE is doing or vehicles that have left Terminal Island and are now, moving into different areas in Los Angeles. We're really just looking for, the kidnappers and seeing different ways that we need to warn our neighbors so that way they know to go back inside and be safe from any of the kidnappers that are roaming our city right now. I think it's important to be aware of what's going on, especially if you are an Angelino and you're like, how do I get involved? This is one easy way to. We always need people to support other people on the ground, whether it be doing what I'm doing or it's doing, helping out at different like spaces and the Home Depots and things like that. And it also is just another way to show that different tactics are working with different cities, with our expanse and how large we are. And we've been dealing with ICE for years at this point. We have a lot of things that are really working. And then now with the escalation, we have more people becoming involved to stop the kidnappers. So I hope you have a great day today.
Kidnappers.
And we continue to keep our neighbors and communities safe. And we continue to fight against this regime.
Wow.
I think these people should be arrested. I think anybody who is openly like out there looking for ICE, stalking ICE, trying to warn people about them, I think you should make an example out of these people, throw the book at them the same way they did with the J6ers, hold them accountable, put them in prison. I don't care how long, fuck due process even. Yeah. Put them away.
These are not... Have to be two more, but these are the type of people who the gas chambers were invented for. These are
the type of people that we really need to just get rid of. Like, again, like I'm so for getting a bunch of boats and putting a lot of people on them and then just letting them figure it out after they leave our country.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what we allowed them to do, is just come in and figure it out. And so, hey, you can get out and figure it out, right? Someone said in the chat here, Valiant Bird said, get back in the kitchen and make me a turkey sandwich with provolone.
I'll take a grilled cheese, please, sweetheart.
Yeah, grilled cheese. I love it. I love it. Man, you're making me hungry now.
I'm going to go make one right after this. I'm starving.
This clip, this lady's bursting into tears. I remember this clip.
Honestly, unfucking believable that this is where our fucking country is. This is our fucking country, the land of the free. Not land of the white people. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Stupid bitch. Tricks are for kids.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What is wrong? This is America.
Exactly.
America. Are we great yet?
I think you
Make
are.
America great. Is this what you fucking want? You don't want my brown babies here either, do you?
Dude, what I want is to hit you, woman.
I'm 10.
When I fucking cried 10 fucking years ago, this is why I cried.
These are the liberals that crash
This
in
is
the
why
people
I
here.
cry. This is why we're fucking.
Yeah, you can see her driving. Like, that's crazy.
We saw this shit coming. And now you motherfuckers are sitting silent. A-okay. But now they just shot a white man. A 37-year-old white man.
Wow.
Oh, but you know what? He was probably
Crashing
a liberal
out.
terrorist, right? So mega,
All right,
all
I
you
can't listen to this. I
motherfuckers
can't
are
listen to
okay
this
with
already
that,
anymore. We gotta pause it.
Dude, I want to hit this woman so bad.
Let's pause it. Yeah.
I want to
Oh.
John Jones this woman. I don't know if you're a UFC guy, but
Yeah, I
John
can't
Jones beat the
anymore.
shit out of his wife.
Oh yeah. Yep. Do the we pull the P Diddy in the elevators, right?
I didn't see anything. I'll look the other way.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I
right?
didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, we actually got a boxer friend who's watching, so he always gets us into UFC and all
Huge
that.
boxing fan, huge UFC fan. Yeah, I would.
He did a fight last night.
Kicker in the knee. You know,
I was asking if he went to Epstein Island last night because apparently he did a private fight for some rich guys and they did this. I said, what the hell are you doing, dude? Are you
rich
on Epstein
people
Island?
do that. They get people to fight for them at the party.
it's
That's
crazy.
a real thing.
It's pretty cool. I mean, hey, I'm down.
My goal is to fight a brand risk one day. That's one of my goals. I want to fight a brand risk. And I want to fight one of my viewers, but he won't do it. There's this guy, Fidel. I call him the token Jew of the show because he's the only Jew who like comments on my show every time and he watches every episode. And I always say, I'm like, dude, I will fight you for charity. He seems like a decent guy. Me and him agree on like 90% of things. But then when it comes to Israel, every fucking time I talk about Israel, it's like huge debate between us. But it's kind of become a running joke with the show, just the beef between me and this guy, Fidel.
That's hilarious.
He's an orthodoxy.
When you're liberal, so this is a great follow-up from what we just saw because this is exactly what happens when you're a liberal recording yourself driving or just you're crashing out because of Trump. So let's watch this.
Did the tire come off?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Dude,
That's
just
crazy.
wait.
Fuck around, find the fuck out.
Yeah, dude. So I wish I had the other clip, the full clip. So he gets out of his truck. He's like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" Yeah, dude, you're the one.
Was it a woman or a man driving?
It was a man.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah. It was a liberal, crazy old liberal white guy who was flipping off a Republican lady who had a Trump flag in front of her house. Yeah, so super, super funny. What do we got next here? Oh, Pocahontas. Here we
I've
go.
seen this clip. I played this on my
who
show.
he was.
Pocahontas.
He was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him.
Oh, that's steady.
Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure. Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the same thing they did with George Floyd, where they're like, "Oh, this guy was a pillar of the community. He was eventually going to get his degree. He was going to get a job one day." And it's like, dude, this guy beat the shit out of a pregnant woman. He overdosed on fentanyl. He had been arrested multiple times, and he's out here using counterfeit bills. It's like, dude, I'm glad. Like, I'm not upset at all.
Hey.
Pardon Derek Chauvin.
Right? Pardon. Free Derek, right?
He deserves it.
Oh man! So before we even play
what the
this,
fuck is that
septum
thing?
piercing, the septum piercing, just already.
We know instantly.
Sucking sons of a bitches that think that you're
Did a
just gonna
woman talk
go
to me that
and
way?
fucking arrest a bunch of protesters because they're out there doing something you're too afraid to fucking do. They're out there fighting for our freedom, and they're out there fighting for our right for free speech. Cause fuck you, all 2,000 of you fucking National Guardsmen, you brave ass fucking soldiers. You think you're gonna march in those streets and tell those people to shut the fuck up? That is what you decided to fight for. You chose to defend us against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and you fucking failed. And that's why they're out there on those streets. So who the fuck are you to tell them to shut the fuck up? Why don't you grow a pair, take off your mask, and tell me your fucking name? Because my name is Alex, and I say fuck you. You sorry?
Jeez.
Dude. POV, you're that woman?
Yeah. Seriously.
Like,
Fuck that, dude.
That's crazy.
What'd you say,
No
Nick?
woman ever yelled at me like that.
Yeah, I said fuck that bitch.
That's insane.
Outrageous. This clip, I was so upset.
To the woman in the video, I give my heart to you, ma'am. I give my heart straight to you. Take my heart. Take my heart. I'm giving it to you.
Yes.
Now, I come from a people who
this is a great clip here.
Demonized
Unreal.
and vilified and terrorized for 250 years in the American experiment. That's what it is to niggerize a dignified black people. Make sure that they are intimidated, terrified, full of fear, and not able to straighten their backs up. But thank God the Black Freedom Movement straightens our backs up. Well, what we're witnessing, and this is why the larger picture is important here. We're at we're right on the edge cliff in terms of the possibility of America sustaining itself as a social experiment in the best sense, or just becoming an empire full of might and force. So when you niggerize a whole country, you start treating all of your citizens.
Can I use that as a verb?
I know, right? So when I see the police killing these two precious folks, Sister Renee and my dear brother Alex, and I've had so many partners killed by the police growing up on the chocolate side of town. Right? Yeah. What has been the response? Thank God for Martin King. How do we learn how to love?
Martin Luther King at his own fucking
how to fight for freedom for everybody.
We're talking about rape.
Town in the face of all of this terror. And America now has the blues. If you don't learn something from the best of the blues people, we're going to lose a democracy. So this is not just about meticulous.
It's not
detail.
even a democracy.
We're talking about something
Constitutional
huge.
republic.
Constitutional republic. That's right. This guy is out of control.
Why does the other guy, like, I know he wasn't talking, but the other guy, he looks like a testicle.
Yeah, just a baldy, dude, straight up.
It looks like my left nut.
Look at that.
That looks like a testicle.
Oh, man. Yeah, I just had to, that's a hilarious clip. I was like, this guy, he looks spastastic, and then just said, oh, this is the clip that you sent that I had already saved. So this is our last clip for Left Wing Lunatics. Then we'll read a verse here to wrap things up. Been
a fun time. I've enjoyed it.
It's been a fun time. It's been a great time.
We'll definitely do more together in the future for sure.
100%. This has been too easy to keep the conversation going. You know what I mean?
I'll have you on my show at some point too.
That'd be great. This is we saw Nicki Minaj a couple times in the White House, and now liberals who have worshipped her for years because of rap music and all the women empowerment songs that she does, right? They're so empowered by her. And all of a sudden now, this is what we get. We'll see. Apparently they're not.
I'm freaky, get whoever I want any meanie. Would I stay with a that's weak in the sheets and don't know how to please me? Bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies.
Again, is this a girl or a guy?
I don't see an Adam's apple.
I can't tell. I mean, I couldn't tell.
Bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies.
People are just retarded and deranged.
I mean,
and I don't even think they should be parading around Nicki Minaj the way they are. Like, I agree with Charlie Kirk where he was like, she's not a good role model. And then Kirk is fucking, bringing her on at the Amfest. And I'm like, what the fuck's that about? Your husband wouldn't have done that shit.
Not at all. No, not a good role model. I just found it ironic that the left, who's worshipped her basically for her empowerment, for all these songs about women and, she's in control and I'm a boss and all this stuff, right? All feminism, basically. And now we have whatever this is we're looking at. Can't even tell what this thing is that we're looking at. This furry or whatever this thing is. They can't. They're ripping up their tickets to Nicki Minaj concerts, ripping up their posters. They're crashing out because Nicki Minaj just sided with President Trump. I mean, hey, you can't fault her because the things she's supporting are good things.
I'm like a big believer of like I remember back in the day when Colin Kaepernick took a knee and then all the different athletes in different sports were giving their opinion on it. And someone said, shut up and dribble. And shut up and sing. Like
shut up and sing.
Singers, athletes, retards, get the fuck out of politics. We don't need you. Women, get the fuck out of politics. We don't need you.
Yeah, it's all, it's all political theater. That's what it comes down to, is they're just trying to.
It's why they brought out like Meg the Stallion at Kamala's rally.
Yes.
It's like, what the fuck? You're going to bring out, who is this trash whore?
Seriously. Well, it's been a great show. We're coming into our last segment here, the Faith in the Fire. Just going to read a couple verses here, inspired by Nick's brother-in-law, actually, Trey, who shared some verses with me in a group chat that I'm in, a Bible chat that we have together. And I think it's just some encouragement to know that, that salvation is not something that we can do, right? It says in Ephesians 2:8, for by grace you've been saved through faith, and this is not of your own doing. It's a gift of God, not as a result of works, so that no man can boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. So just to encourage everyone that that salvation is not something that you can work towards. Salvation is not something that you can attain yourself. And that's the beauty of the message of Jesus, is that unlike Islam, unlike Judaism, unlike Hinduism, Buddhism, where you have to do all these things right, you got to do so many good things, they say, to weigh out all the bad things that you say. Jesus says that doesn't matter. I know that you're bad. We're all bad. We're sinful. And my sacrifice is the only thing that can atone for your sins. And so just accept that free gift. And that's all you need, is you just have to accept that free gift. Both James and I have both accepted that free gift. We both know Christ as King in our life.
Christ is King.
Exactly. We both attend church. And that's something, if you are listening today, you're watching live, you're watching the replay. If you're watching this, you got people in the chat right now. Jesus Christ is King, King of Kings. Yes, absolutely. And if you're watching this and you have not made Christ King of your life, all jokes aside, all the fun that we've been talking about aside, all the criticisms we've been having, all the people that we're talking about, none of that really matters at the end of the day. The only thing that matters is Jesus, because this world will pass away. We're all going to die. We can't take our gold with us. Can't take it with us. We can't take, all the streaming's going to pass away, all this stuff, not to sound like a broken record, but it's all going to pass away, and Jesus will be the only thing left. And so that's the hope that I want to leave you with tonight, is that despite Epstein, despite the debauchery that we've experienced and that we're being, exposed to, and we're exposed to trauma through killings like assassination of Charlie Kirk, we shouldn't see those things. And so we can turn to Jesus and know that salvation comes from him and that all good things come from God. And we know that the things of Epstein, the things of Bill Gates, the things of, Harvey Weinstein, that's of Satan. That is not of God. And anyone who tries to say that they are of God, right? Like, Harvey Weinstein and Epstein would say that they're Jewish people, right? And that they're God's people. That's not true at all. They're not of God. That is of Satan.
The greatest trick Satan ever pulled is convincing the world he didn't exist.
Exactly. 100%. We'll leave it at that. That's what we can leave this whole Faith in the Fire segment on, is that's the greatest lie ever told, is that he didn't exist. There's so much evidence. You can look for it yourself right in this book and other historical books yourself. Jewish writers, Josephus wrote about Jesus, right? So I've heard the argument, I don't know if you've heard, James, people that are atheists, they say, oh, Jesus wasn't even a historical figure. And that's the most low IQ argument I've ever heard, because there's so much historical evidence of Jesus existing, walking the earth, outside of the biblical references.
Shoutout Torn is one of the best ones.
Exact, man. Just one of my favorites, right? You saw the Tucker Carlson episode on that?
Yeah. I've done a lot of studies on it. It's
so good,
incredible.
So good. Well, that's the encouragement for the audience today, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching this back later, is that Christ is king. He's the king of my life, king of James's life. He is the king of Nick's life as well, all of our lives. And we want to make sure that you know that all of this is not for our own gain, but we're just vessels. We're trying to do what the Bible says, and we're trying to give God the glory from this. We don't want to take any of the glory. We're trying to reflect it back to him. Well, that's the show, folks. We got James here from America Unfiltered joining us for almost 2.5 hours tonight. We still didn't even talk about Israel, which is something that maybe that's something we can get on your show.
Yeah, I'm down. We'll schedule it for sure. We could have a full discussion about it. I could talk about Israel for hours. So
absolutely, and we talked on the phone about that. But I think that I have that unique perspective of my dad being Jewish but being converted to Christian by my mom. And being trained at Bible college in that dispensational theology, in that theology that is that Zionistic theology. And I had to, train myself out of that. And so I got all that training myself. And so it'd be super interesting to have that conversation with you and all kinds of other stuff that we didn't even get into tonight. But thank you so much.
I'm sure we'll talk a bunch.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, James, for joining us. Thank you for, giving all your thoughts and commentary on everything here today. It's been so great to have you.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to keep promoting your show on my show as well. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoy your content a lot.
Absolutely. And thanks everyone who joined today, engaging with the chat. The chat's been going crazy all night. Thank you guys for just keeping it going, poking fun at us. Appreciate that. We always love the engagement. Follow us on X. Tell people where they can follow you, James. What can they do?
Spotify is where I'm biggest. Spotify, America Unfiltered show on pretty much everything. But on X, I'm James AUTV.
Great. And then I'm going to turn my camera off for a second so you guys can get his Telegram channel. You're going to join his Telegram channel.
Oh, yeah. If you scan that code up there, join the Telegram. I post funny shit in there, joking around in there, voice messages. I give updates on my show times. I do polls in there. Bunch of different fun stuff. Join the Telegram channel and you'll stay updated on all things America Unfiltered and America First.
And James is over 200 episodes into America Unfiltered, so support him. He's a real Wang Af. He's a real America First patriot. We've got to support each other, especially with the left-wing radicals who are going to try to come after us, right? Don't want to keep any longer, James. I know you kept so much time with us tonight, but thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
If you want to, we're gonna end the stream here, and then we usually close out the room after a couple of minutes of debriefing if you wanted to. But thanks for everyone joining in. Remember, it's America first. Christ is king, and freedom